quarterback. They run for their lives. Hamilton seemed to have found its guiding light. He was bold and beautiful. The Rough Riders were the CFL's orphans. Now Ottawa calls the Riders All My Children. The saga continues today on As the Ball Turns. Man, is that cheesy or what? And anyway, this is no fancy soap opera. This is football. The Riders and the Cats. Mike Campbell leads a defense that's on a hunt. The call's gone out to Mike Saunders to ignite the Cats' ground game. Matt Cody has all the tools to be a game breaker. The Rough Riders are on a roll. Jeff Cummins heads up a defense that hasn't given up a touchdown in 2 games. This time, David Archer won't wait to the last minute to get the job done. Take your seats, some decorum, please. From near death 3 weeks ago to the hope of a sellout in Ottawa today, it's hard not to like the story of the revival of the Rough Riders, but you know the Hamilton Tiger Cats would like to throw a damper on it this afternoon. Welcome now to Ottawa and to the CFL on CBC. I'm Scott Oakes. Suddenly, Canadian football looks good in the nation's capital. Here are the Riders on a 2-game win streak, and the fans who pulled them back from the brink out in full force again today to watch a high-stakes game. The Riders trying to catch Hamilton for a playoff berth, but the Cats won't be easy. They herald the return of one of their quarterbacks today. Anthony Calvillo has not played for 5 weeks because of a pulled hamstring, but he gets the start in this match with Mike Kerrigan all set in relief. 6 days and counting now till Dan Kepley's inducted into the Hall of Fame, and believe you me, there's a lineup of guys who are praying for the chance to make the induction speech. Kep and Mark Lee will describe the proceedings in Ottawa this afternoon. Kep, you have to like what you're seeing here, and that's a football atmosphere.
It really is. I had a chance to talk with Leo Cahill yesterday, and he said it has become fashionable. The thing to do in Ottawa is to be at this stadium on Sunday afternoon and watch the Riders play.
Now, Leo won $50 in a scratch and win to start the day, so the proceedings are off to a good start for him. Mark, you grew up here in Ottawa, so you know all about football atmosphere. The question is, can the Riders keep riding the wave of emotion that's existed now for almost 4 weeks?
Well, I was here the last time they had a sellout, and that was 1975, hard to believe. And as long as I've known this football team, it feeds off the big crowd. So the atmosphere is back. That bodes well for the Riders. Look at Street Bridge. That means they've had to walk a long way for their parking spot. That means big crowd, and that bodes well for the Rough Riders. And this man, David Archer, also feeds off the big crowd. Lucky him, for the first time this season, some continuity. The same set of receivers, 2 games in a row. And Kep, an old friend, helping him out in the backfield.
He gets reunited with Troy Mills in the backfield. Troy, this is his first game in the 96 season. It'll be important for him to rush the ball inside today to help out in play-action pass of Archer. And then also on the other side, Mike Saunders gets a chance after being traded from Montreal, been out 5 weeks, played the first 4 games, has a strained ligament in his knee, but this will be a good test for him today in the Hamilton Ticats.
Mills and Saunders, teammates in San Antonio last year, but rivals today, so it's Ottawa trying to catch Hamilton for a playoff berth in the East. The Cats looking for some breathing space. Therein lies the importance of this one. On the BF Goodrich TA halftime report today, we'll spend a few moments with Mike Kerrigan, called out of retirement by the Cats this year and more than willing to answer the call. Only seems like Mike's been around since 1966. You can never count on weather at this time of year, so we'll take dry conditions anytime in mid-September. There is rain in the forecast. Hopefully it'll hold off until 4 o'clock Eastern time. The wind will be a factor today. You can see that. So it's Sunday afternoon on the first day of fall with the Cats and Riders set to kick off. Here are Mark and Dan.
Thank you, Scott, and there's John Payne. Hopefully he thinks he's got this ship righted here in Ottawa, taking over 2 games into the season, a 2-game winning streak, and they're on a roll. And Sudsy, well, what a year he's had. 17 starters have gone down. Just broke a 6-game losing streak with a big win over Edmonton last weekend, and he's hoping to get his first winning season in 3 as a head coach.
He's pretty excited because he's starting to get some of those injured players back at the right time, Mark, to make a run for the playoff stretch.
All right, the Rough Riders winning the toss and electing to receive and taking the win here. To start this game, Paul Osbaldiston, nursing a groin injury, will kick off for the Ticats, sending it deep. And it's Kenny Wilhite. No, Denal will take it over the 40. He's got a break over the 50-yard line and knocked down at center position as Joe Montfort finally brings down Dave Denal.
Dave Denal with a great return, getting a chance to get on the roster and setting up David Archer. Good field position at center field for his 1st and 10.
David Archer, the 4th leading passer in the Canadian Football League, had a sluggish game last weekend against Regina, pulling it out, though, in the dying minutes with 2 quick touchdowns and an 18-16 win. And here he is at quarterback, 1st and 10 at center field. Gives to Troy Mills off the left side with all kinds of traffic, and Montfort once again leading a gang of Ticat tacklers. Here's the Rider offensive lineup, and Big Chuck Este at right guard, helping the Rough Rider line, which was collapsing up the middle, allowing 5 to 6 sacks a game. He'll be expected to bolster that. And Troy Mills, of course, had 2,000 yards rushing and passing 2 years ago with Archer in Sacramento. He'll be counted on big time today. 2nd down, about 7 to go for the Rough Riders. Archer in the shotgun, all kinds of time. Dumps it off to Mills, over the middle. He's got 1st down territory and more. Down over the 35, into the 30, and deep into Hamilton territory. Troy Mills introducing himself big time.
Good coverage by the Hamilton secondary. All the receivers were covered. Troy just happened to slip out just at the last minute. As Archer looks downfield, goes to his 3rd receiver. No, finds Mills right over the top. Gets a little bit of block. Poor tackling by number 53, Mumford in the middle. Allows Mills to do exceptionally well once he catches the ball. What he does after that catch is superb.
23 yards to gain on that play for Mills. Once again, he gets the give, goes around the left side. Knocked down after a gain of about 3 as he goes out of bounds. Looked like young Justin Ring, the rookie from Simon Fraser, got a hand on him.
Having a chance to talk with David Archer yesterday, and he said it is crucial that I have a good rushing game. You don't want to go in and think you have to force it, but when I have Troy in the backfield, if I can rush with him, it sets up my play action.
Archer has been translating much of the terminology in the Rough Rider offense to Troy Mills, converting it to what he was used to down in the States, and boy, they're on the same page so far here.
Well, it is a bilingual province here.
Here's Archer with time again. Over the middle, it's Mills. Mills with another big gain and another 1st down for Ottawa to the 15. Hitchcock making the tackle on Troy Mills, who's having a field day on this Hamilton defense. Gonzalo Floyd has been credited by Sudsy as the man who's picked up this front 4, but he's having a hard time today. There's Justin Ring. We mentioned him, the rookie from Simon Fraser, and another rookie, Jason Kaiser, coming in for the injured Ken Norton in the secondary, but that Ticat defense has been porous so far. 1st down at the 15. Archer giving the Mills. He's been a one-man show so far, and he gets 6, maybe 7 before he's piled up. Tom Gerhardt making the tackle, and now Archer having words with Floyd. This Ottawa team pumped up. They haven't been used to playing before big crowds. They're expecting 25 to 28 here today. You see the emotions flaring already.
Well, you need this kind of spirit in there. It's exciting. You see your quarterback, he's willing to get in there, throw his body around, but just be calm, keep cool, David. Everybody gets excited when you see your quarterback go in there, want to start a fight and mouth off to somebody. Now come back, get everybody settled, execution.
This Rough Rider team playing with some swagger now on this 2-game winning streak, the longest winning streak since 1992. Archer fumbles the snap. And it looks like Ottawa may have gotten down in time in that pileup, and once again, Stevenson and Campbell shove and push. Lots of trash talk and tempers flaring here early in Ottawa.
Mike Campbell, yeah, undoubtedly the leader on that defense. He's going to get people fired up, and he's going to make things happen defensively for the Ticats.
Offside, Hamilton number 90, 1st down Ottawa.
So Floyd is called offside. Ottawa will have 1st down now. 1st and goal to go as John Payne looks on from the Ottawa bench.
John Payne complimented David Archer so much of having 50% of the game plan is up to what he wants to put in. John Payne says, I've always been an offensive coordinator. I've never been a quarterback. It is great to have a guy that is so knowledgeable like David Archer.
1st down just inside the 5 of Hamilton. Archer rolling to his right. He's got a man open, but oh, what a great catch. Joe Rogers going up high. You know, last week, He had problems reaching because of the shoulder injury, but there he gets it and brings it in for the Ottawa touchdown.
What an impressive drive by David Archer. He comes out and he's got Rogers just sliding out to the flat, throws the ball a little off balance, but look at the effort and the athletic ability of Joseph Rogers. Goes up high, comes back inside, makes the catch for his 6th touchdown of the season.
Twice last week he had trouble bringing in the pass, reaching up high because of the shoulder problem, but he looks fit today.
Mark David said, I have to get him involved in the game quickly, and if I do, he can have a good day to this afternoon.
With the convert, Ottawa up 7-0, scoring on their first drive here at Frank Bear Stadium. Joseph Rogers on the 4-yard pass from David Archer and his 6th touchdown of the season.
Just to the right of your screen, he gets a little bit of a peck on the inside. He's wide open, miscue of defense for Hamilton, but he makes a great athletic catch, goes up high, turns the body around, gets it in for the major. That's the way to finish a drive.
Rogers capping off a drive that was led by Troy Mills, a 55-yard drive, 47 of those yards by Mills, 35 through the air and 12 on the ground. Here's Wayne Lamley to kick off for Ottawa with the wind, sending it deep. Andrew Brigg over the 20-yard line, around Djokovic, and forced out of bounds by Sean Reed. A good run back for Hamilton in decent field position going into the wind as Anthony Cavillo leads out the offense. Cavillo, only 398 yards passing, has not had much game experience. Coming in for the injured Matt Dunnigan, missing 6 weeks with a pulled hamstring, and now back. The consensus #1 from Don Southern to lead this team.
Well, Don said vehemently that the fact is a player does not lose his job because of an injury. That's why he's here, and Kerrigan's on the sideline.
Mike Kerrigan, last week leading the Cats to that big win over Edmonton. He's on the sidelines as the backup. And a swift shot to the far side. Mike Saunders making his first appearance for the Cats, and he gets the opening pass of the game. The Ticats on offense, anchored on that offensive line by the import, Dwayne Morgan. The Cats with 2 Americans now on that offensive line. And there's Mike Saunders, obtained this week in a trade from Montreal, only 3 days of practice, and he looks sharp so far with that opening catch from Cavillo. It'll be 2nd down and about 4 for the Ticats, and about the 32-yard line. Cavillo this time handing off to Saunders around the outside, and Dwayne Knight grabs him and puts him out of bounds. Right at that first down marker. Dwayne Knight pumped up on that Ottawa defense.
Knight being one of the more explosive linebackers in this league. Very animated and covers a lot of ground. 6'2", about 215, goes sideline to sideline, and this time he's got to get outside to take the swift. Mike Saunders out of bounds, forcing a punting situation.
Kept this Ottawa defense has really come alive in recent weeks. They have not allowed a touchdown in the past 2 games. And right away, they force Hamilton into a punting situation. Osbaldiston, averaging just over 45 yards a punt, will be putting this one into a win. And Ottawa, Wilhite and Gordon just over their 45-yard line. They'll have good position.
David Archer should have really good field position to start this first drive again.
Osbaldiston gets a high towering shot held up by the wind coming down to Wilhite at his own 40. But he gets a break up the middle. Wilhite over the 45 and hauled down. Looked like Gerhardt, Tommy Gerhardt, got his hands on him before he got outside. A 37-yard punt from Osbaldiston, a 7-yard return.
Got a late flag coming. There's a little argument down there. I think that Wilhite thought that he had a face mask on him by Kaiser, and he may have been very well right. But you get some objectionable conduct, and it goes back against the Ottawa Rough Riders. Very important. You can be as physical, you can be as loud.
Necessary roughness. Ottawa, number 21. First down.
But what you have to be is disciplined. You have to be able to control that anger that you have. Now take a look right at the end. The face mask took place just a little later. He thought maybe that he had a piling on call. Now they're going to get into the tussle.
And it was Dave Denal, number 21, getting into the rough stuff and called for rough play. So Ottawa will be back at its own 32-yard line as Archer Fakes to Mills, goes down the middle, and it's picked off! Justin Ring, the rookie, brings it back to the 30-yard line, and a huge turnover for the Cats. David Archer picked off here on the opening play of their second drive, and Hamilton will take over in good position. Cold water on the Archer offense on that last interception, his 11th of the year.
Watch Ring right here. David Archer doesn't even see him as he makes the play. He comes by, picks it off. Good interception, goes high. Looks the ball in. Then he makes a good return on it, sets it up 1st and 10 for Cavillo on the 41.
Anthony Cavillo in the shotgun, bobbles the snap, lots of time in the pocket. Now he's got some pressure. Obi Spanik hauling down Cavillo with the sack, but Cavillo had all kinds of time but couldn't make up his mind.
Ottawa secondary does a good job of disguising their defenses, confuses Cavillo slightly, tries to sprint out. Nothing happening downfield. Now he's got to scramble, but Spanik does a good job. Good containment, gets upfield on the outside shoulder, makes the sack.
2nd and 14. The Ticats now on the edge of field goal range. Pass to Earl Winfield, and he can't hang on to it. The Pearl Winfield, the veteran with 85 career touchdowns in the top 10 in the CFL, and that was uncharacteristic.
Something that you will not see of Earl Winfield. Missing a pass like that, an easy catch, goes up high. Good route, runs the curl route inside the zone, just doesn't look it in.
Huge play for the Ottawa defense. Forces Hamilton into a punting situation. Osbaldiston standing back at his own 50. Wilhite and Gordon back to receive for Ottawa. 7-0 Riders leading here in the first quarter. This Ottawa defense coming into this game, the overall stats, one of the worst in the league, but in the last 2 games, one of the best. Some saying as good as the Edmonton Eskimo defense in the last 2 weeks, Kemp.
Well, they're playing with a lot of confidence, a lot of cockiness, and out there and they're getting it done.
Good punt to Wilhite over the 20, little dipsy doodle, gets another break, and finally downed at about the 27-yard line by Darrell Sampson. 34-yard punt into the wind and a 15-yard return by Kenny Wilhite. Wilhite, of course, the all-purpose man for the Riders with over 1,100 yards, returning kicks and punts. And now the Ottawa offensive line. Number 53, Zuma Okiki on the left side. One of 3 imports on that Ottawa offensive line. Used to be that all Canadians played that position, but the reduced import quota. The Americans now beefing up the O-line. The give now. Down the right side. That was Daniels. Sean Daniels with not much room.
Gonzalo Floyd, since coming over from the Calgary Stampeders to the Ticat defense, has really been inspirational. Coach Don Southern has said this guy has elevated the play, particularly of Jesse Small and also of Mike Campbell, to an extent that he is totally confident with what this defense can do, and he even is a little more that he likes to gamble on his defense.
Ticats patching this team together all season. 11 starters out. We're talking broken legs, broken arms, broken hips, and concussions. Archer with lots of time down the middle, but he sails that one, intended for number 82, Willie Hinchcliffe, and so the Riders will be forced to punt. Last week we saw the same thing with Archer. When he had the wind, his balls tended to sail.
Take a look, KK, that we're talking about. This is Jesse Small, does a good job. Look how he stays with him, rides him right upfield, outside the pocket, allows David Archer to step up in there, make the throw without being hassled.
Wayne Lamely, the punt for Ottawa, standing at his own 12-yard line. He's got a 41.3-yard average, and he's got a good gale behind him here, left to right on your screen. Lamely, far side to Greg, the Canadian. Side steps Ganal, but can't get away, and there's a flag on the play.
Late flag, which from the position that it's thrown, it could be an illegal block against Ottawa. Let's see what the call is.
Holding the call. Sammy Brennan making the tackle for Ottawa, the kid from Pembroke. Had a year of eligibility left in college. Wasn't even drafted. Showed up for a tryout here in Ottawa. And Leo Cahill said, kid, you got a future.
Number 33, first down.
The cat's getting called. Looks like an illegal block.
Bill Sampson, defensive back. Now look just in the back. He's trying to slow up to see if he can. Gets his hands on. You can see a little bit of cloth that he's pulling from David Denal. And there he got caught. Moved it back 10 yards.
The Cats will scrimmage at their own 30. Cavillo in the shotgun formation. A little over 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. Cavillo bails out and will run with the ball. And he'll have the first down easily as he steps out of touch. Anthony Cavillo. Don Southern telling us one of the pluses in putting him in here today is his mobility. Much more mobile.
That's exactly right. He can come out the field and he can scramble a bit. Mike Kerrigan there in the jacket on the right-hand side of John Jenkins, the offensive coordinator, giving the signals. He's going to be a pocket passer. He's going to stand between the tackles. He's only going to run in dire need if he has to. But Cavillo uses it as an offensive weapon.
And we'll hear from Mike Kerrigan at the half, the player coach who broke Bernie Filoni's all-time passing record last week for the Tiger Cats. Here's Cavillo deep down the middle. Jason Phillips is open, and at the last minute, Kenny Wilhite got back, and he could have picked it off.
Kenny Wilhite made a great break on the ball. The ball hung up into that wind a little bit and allowed him to slide up underneath it, and that's an easy pick. And here's what they do. It's just like in practice.
Give me 10.
Hey, you missed a pick. You give me 10 right now, buddy. And he went down and gave it to the crowd. Take a look. Look how he closes very quickly, ever so slightly.
And that's an example of what they've been saying here in Ottawa. This defense is gambling more, showing receivers to be open, then closing at the last minute, baiting the quarterbacks as Wilhite did there. Cavillo with pressure over the middle, and Ted Long has the catch for a first down. Frank West reeling in Ted Long, part of that receiving core that came in from Birmingham when the Ticats tried to set up Matt Dunnigan with his old receiving core.
Jason Jakovich comes over on the safety blitz from the outside. Cavillo knows he's got man-to-man coverage. Long does a good job to get inside the receiver, and that quick release that Cavillo allowed that play to take place.
Long will start in the backfield, but he is what they call a super back, or a receiving back for the Cats. The pump fake from Cavillo. Wants to go deep down the far side, and it's Mac Cody. Mac Cody with the catch in behind the coverage of Wilhite.
Now this is set up all the way to make you think that it's going to be a hitch screen to Winfield on the outside. Cody comes out like he's going to block, sets up the block. Now he's going to do what you say. He's going to wheel. He turns up. He gets behind Wilhite. And Cavillo has enough time, throws the ball on the money. Big play for Hamilton.
Mac Cody, the featured performer on this Ticat offense, the leading receiver with 828 yards coming into this game. Cavillo now working well into the wind, pumps again and goes deep, but Winfield trips, and the ball sails far over the head of the defender Tommy Henry on the play. Anthony Cavillo showing good arm strength here, missing 6 weeks of action with that pulled hamstring.
Kind of situation that he really doesn't want to get into a lot of times, so it's second and long against this Ottawa defense.
Ticats now threatening. Second and 10 on the Ottawa 25-yard line. Cavillo in the shotgun. Moves left, pump fake, goes back to the right side, has a break in the pocket, tries to go over the middle, and it's knocked down. Joe Merrill. Looked like Joe Merrill, the man on the spot, with a tip. And that will force the Ticats into a field goal situation.
Take a look now. He wants to take it to the house, into the end zone quickly. Again, good coverage by Ottawa, and he looks like he wants to force that. It looks like to me from that angle in the end zone that he had some speed that he could have gotten outside, maybe picked up that first down on the scramble, but he decided to try to force the ball in. Frank West did a really good job of knocking that ball away.
Listed as a backup, but getting some early action here for Ottawa. The field goal attempt from Osbaldiston, 32 yards out. And he's dead to center. And good. The Ticats closing the gap to 4. It's Ottawa 7, Hamilton 3 in the first quarter.
Welcome back to Frank Clair Stadium at 7-3 Ottawa in the first quarter. This is a proverbial 4-point game because if the Rough Riders win it, they're within 2 of the Cats. Otherwise, it's a huge lead for the Tiger Cats, and you can see what's at stake in this game, Mark.
Also at stake, winning back more fans, the lifeblood of this football team. Dave Denal returning this kickoff. All kinds of traffic at center field in between the hash marks, and he's pulled down at about the 43-yard line. Floyd in on the tackle. A return of 17 after a 49-yard kickoff, and look at the crowd. Doesn't that look healthy here in Ottawa at Frank Clair Stadium?
It's exciting to see. This is a city thick with tradition, and these people are really rising to the challenge and to the occasion this afternoon.
Ottawa fans, 28,000 here 2 weeks ago. That big win. Now they're going to be close to 28 here. Haven't had crowds like that since '85. Troy Mills with the carry up the middle, and this time Hamilton sniffed that one out. Mike Philbrook, the Canadian from Carleton University, in on the tackle. Troy Mills, what a story. Had knee surgery last year, coming into this game with barely 10 days of preparation. 2,000 yards, rushing and receiving 2 years ago in Sacramento with the Gold Miners, and David Archer. Archer this time to Andre Bolduc. The quick, hot right, and a good catch.
This is where David Archer is so valuable. Quick read, good solid release, gets the ball up high and in throwing position very quickly. Bolduc makes a good move off the line of scrimmage, gets inside, the ball's there, first down, and keeps this drive alive with the win.
Bolduc, Canadian slot back, drawing comparisons to Gerald Wilcox. Big, strong receiver. Troy Mills! Did he hit that hole? Once again, Gerhardt making the tackle. What appears to be a game of cat and mouse between these two players. Mills with all kinds of room off the left side.
Take a look at the bullet, just a counter there with James Monroe, also Stevenson coming around, and there is Troy Mills, gets the handoff inside, that quick burst of speed.
Same play this time. Mills elects to go outside and is tripped up by Justin Ring, or he could have had more. Troy Mills putting on a one-man show for the Riders here early. Ottawa fans in large numbers supporting this football team, as you mentioned off the top. Leo Cahill saying it's becoming more and more of a social thing to come to football games, and that's good for the Riders. Dumped off to Mills, there's a flag on the play, and he tripped over the yard stripe.
I think we're going to get a holding against Ottawa. Bring that play back. But what David wants to do, Archer, is that with this win right now, hurry up offense, try to get as many plays utilizing the win as possible before this quarter ends.
Question you got to ask is Troy Mills in good shape, because he's been carrying the load for this Ottawa offense?
Well, he originally was drafted in the dispersal draft by Calgary, chose not to sign with Calgary because he wanted to rehabilitate his knee. It looks like so far what we're seeing right now.
Illegal block to the head. Ottawa, number 68, decline. Second down.
So Dwayne Arundel with the illegal block to the head. Cats will decline the penalty, making it second down and 8. Ottawa.
Just to finish that thought on Troy, like I said, he decided not to sign with Calgary, wanted to rehabilitate his knee. This is his first game, so you don't know, you know he's in shape, but is he in game playing shape?
Dave Denal into the game now, giving Mills a break. Rogers drops the ball. Does Gordon get it? The Cats say they're on it.
No, Mumford's got it, the big linebacker.
And so Joseph Rogers, who had the touchdown on that opening drive, coughs up the fumble after making the reception from Archer, and it'll be Hamilton football. That's the second turnover now for this Ottawa offense.
Hitch screen back to the weak side, comes back in, he catches the ball, makes a good catch, now gets up, makes a good move against Ring. The ball just slips right through his hands. 84 as Gordon comes in there, but Mumford, the linebacker, said, hey, there's no way, you're not getting this ball. The big guy takes it away from the receiver.
Justin Ring, the rookie Canadian, getting his hand on Rogers' arm and appeared to pry that ball loose. And so Rogers goes back to the bench to contemplate that one. Riders giving the ball to Hamilton at their own 39-yard line. Here's Cavill rolling right, released it to Matt Cody. He can move. Cody now surrounded by 4 Ottawa tacklers, and he goes down heavily. Swift Birch having a word with Mac Cody. What a find he is. I remember 2 years ago, he was in the Winnipeg Blue Bomber training camp, got released, and has found a career if he wants it in Hamilton.
This is a swarming defense. They get around you, they make good, solid defensive plays, and they hustle to the ball and gain tackle. That's what made that play. Will Height did an excellent job. Cavillo having a little trouble getting the ball downfield.
2nd and 7. Cavillo with lots of time. Down the middle. Finds Cody again. And he's rocked by Djokovic at the 50 and is slow getting up. Mac Cody, the touchdown leader on this Ticat offense with 8.
The big guys up front really doing the job. Take a look at them. Doug Davies, St. John, Blaine Schmidt, giving Cavillo good vision down the field and giving him plenty of time to find his #1 receiver, Cody.
Davies, St. John, and Schmidt under orders to perform, or else Sud's saying he might add a 3rd American next week if those Canadians don't pull their weight. It's Saunders with the give up the middle.
It makes you pull the jockstrap up a little tighter and get the job done because you like that paycheck on Monday morning to come in.
Quarter time at the end of the first. It's Ottawa hanging on to a 7-3 lead here at Frank Clair Stadium, where the spirit is back. Welcome back to Frank Clair Stadium in Ottawa, where the Riders hold a 7-3 lead, and there are the first quarter stats in this ball game, and it's really close. But turnover's the key.
The big key right there, the interception that David Archer threw to Ring, and also the fumble that took place by Rogers. Those are big turnovers on crucial drives that they had an opportunity going in, and they had some momentum.
Now, will the Ticats capitalize on that turnover? They have the wind at their back and the ball at center field as Cavillo breaks the huddle. Anthony Cavillo in his first start in 6 weeks. Up behind the center. Draws the Ottawa defense offside, and there's a flag on the play. Will it be motion? Will it be offside?
I think they'll get offside against Spanik or Younger. It's either 96 or 56. Both of them are offside. Never know.
Ken Lazarick, referee out of Winnipeg, talking with Cavillo in an officials conference at center field.
Just that movement that Lazarick did, just that jerking back. Now he's thinking maybe Doug Davies moved that ball a little bit and drew the Ottawa defense offside.
Wayne Morgan also trying to influence the call. Here it is from Lazarick.
Got to go against Hamilton. They don't like it.
Legal procedure. Hamilton, number 60, still 2nd down.
You called it, Kep. Procedure on the Cats, moving the ball back now 5 yards to their own 50, and Suds doesn't like that one. Here it is.
Just at the bottom of your screen, the right-hand corner, you see the big tackle. That's Wayne Morgan. That's 6'3", 300 pounds. It's not hard to miss when he makes a movement.
Like a 747 pulling away from the dock. 2nd down. Ticats, Cavillo down the middle to Cody, a diving effort, but can't get to it as once again Djokovic puts his helmet in his back. Jason Djokovic, former Blue Bomber, had a stint with the Argos and now thinks he's found a home here in Ottawa.
Take a look how Cody's going to come. He's going to try to work back toward the quarterback Cavillo. The ball is thrown even before he makes that break just to the outside, and very fortunate that Djokovic did not take that pick on the ball. He played the receiver as opposed to playing the ball. Could have had an interception.
Rider defense forcing the Ticats to punt. There's Osbaldiston at his own 40. Good spiral line drive going back. It's Will Height at his own 6. Coming up through the middle, he's got a seam. Will Height across the 30. Up to center field. Has he got a block? Will Height surrounded though as the Cat special teams got back. And it looked like Tom Gerhardt enough to pull him down. But what a big return from Will Height. 60 yards on a 54-yard punt. And the Riders will have the ball 1st and 10 with good field position at the 45 of Hamilton.
John Payne said yesterday, I am very excited about my return teams and my coverage team. He said, my field goal, I got a little bit that I'm lacking. But here is one of the reasons why he's so excited. Will Height getting an opportunity to get that ball upfield, put it on the 45 for David Archer.
We saw the Jet, Jimmy Cunningham, and special teams turn that game around for the Argos yesterday. Here's Troy Mills, hot stepping right through the middle of the Ticat defense for a big gain.
This ball game was going to be won in the trenches, whether it's whose offensive line can dominate the other defense. Does a good job getting Floyd outside. Some bad tackling taking place, and Mills, with that exceptional acceleration, hits the hole and gets the ball upfield, going north and south, just like a good back does.
Mills is getting through the front four with a head of speed, and that's been trouble for the Ticats. Here he is again. This time, it looked like Philbrick got a hand on him, and Montfort brought him down. Michael Philbrick got a hand on him to turn him around into that Ticat lineup.
Michael Philbrick, Brick as his nickname is called, one of the mainstays in the middle of that Hamilton defense, along with Campbell. These guys are playing truly inspirational football. With the addition of Floyd coming in, has really helped out.
Better effort by the Ticats, but it's still a first down for Ottawa. On the 34. Archer now, straight back, finds Troy Mills out of the backfield. He's wide open and dives for more. He'll have another first down for Ottawa now, just shy of the 20.
David said, what I like to do is try to get Troy Mills in a zone situation where I can dump the ball off to him and let him work with it. Sprint, it's a throwback with a little sneak. Now he gets one-on-one in the linebackers, and this guy is nifty. He makes people miss him.
Montfort is playing so deep in that middle linebacker spot. Mills is turning around just in front of him, and he's open all day. Here's Archer. This time goes to Rogers, and he hangs onto the ball at the 10. Joseph Rogers, who had the fumble in the first quarter and the touchdown, looking sharp for Ottawa.
The big horses up front are doing an excellent job for David Archer. Solid performances allows him to get a deep drop. He can step up, good solid vision down the field, and he's able to find the receiver for the big first down.
Archer getting better support in the middle. And Chuck Esty, a man who has been asked to provide more depth to the pocket. Ottawa has been troubled with that all season. Here's Archer rolling left, looking deep. It's the Duke! James Ellingson for the touchdown!
Yes, baby, go, baby!
David Archer looking very smooth. And how about James Ellingson? He had trouble with some drop balls in Regina, and he's hot.
Sprint out to the post corner, and this is a great touch pass just over the outstretched hands of Gary Lewis. The halfback did an excellent job of getting open with Duke Ellingson.
And so the Rough Riders open a 14-3 lead here in the second quarter. Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks? James Ellingson with the big catch, an 11-yard reception, looking like a spring chicken.
David Archer felt that Duke has had so much pressure on him through the course of this season. One of the mainstays of this Ottawa team, released earlier in the season, brought back and signed, and David said, I need and want to get that man involved in the play early in the game. Big play for the Duke.
Wayne Lamley to kick off for the Riders. That goes straight up and straight down into the wind, coming down at about the 30-yard line. And the Ticats, Grigg dropping to his knees immediately.
Well, Mark, Don Southern's got Matt Dunnigan on his mind. He wants a decision from Dunnigan. Dunnigan's been out of the Cats lineup since week 6 after suffering a concussion. It's looking more like a career-ending injury for the great veteran. He's gone home to Birmingham to consult with his wife, contemplate his future, and Southern hopes he'll come back with a decision either way next week. Of course, what Dunnigan's got to decide is if he wants to run the risk of another shot to the head, the results of which could be tragic.
Cody hanging on in traffic as Tommy Henry brings them down, and of course we'll have that Hall of Fame game. A big weekend for you, Danny. Congratulations, sir, on the induction into the Hall of Fame.
Thank you very much. But take a look at this play here. Let's run it by. We got a good game going on. Matt Cody, the key receiver for the Hamilton offense. Good pressure up front, but no way. They're not getting in there. Blaine Smith does a good job and that allows Cavillo to find the seam route by Cody downfield.
Here's Cavillo down the middle. Jason Phillips is open. What a strike from Cavillo. On a rope to Phillips. Did he drop it? No catch. Phillips couldn't quite get it on as the referee waved off that play at the last minute. What an effort, though. I want to know those. How do they make those big steel heads they put in the Hall of Fame? Do they cover your head with plaster or something?
Yeah, they do. I haven't been able to breathe for a while, but you can see right there from the replay, the ball does come through, hits the turf. Good call by the official. He's the guy on the spot.
Phillips just unable to reel that one in. 2nd and 10, Hamilton. Cavillo over the middle, this time to Ted Long, and it'll be picked off. Jason Jakovic on the deflection, and he's up and running. The Rough Rider defense stopping Hamilton again. The Canadian Jason Jakovic from the University of Manitoba picking up that tip, and the Riders go on offense when we come back. The Winnipegger, Jason Jakovic, on the phone to the booth celebrating his first interception of the season, Cap.
Just getting an opportunity. Follow him right here, folks. All he does is play good center field. Keeps his eye on the quarterback, plays the ball. Now the tip comes down. Got to make an effort for it. Good, solid, sells himself out. Comes up with the grab, his 2nd interception of the season.
I remember last year, the worst weekend of his life. He rolled his car, escaped serious injury, and got cut all in the same weekend. Now he's back in the CFL and looking good for the Riders. Troy Mills gets the handoff from Archer and runs into a host of Ticat tacklers. Joe Montfort, the first man to make contact. Troy Mills, yeoman's effort so far in this game. He's had 9 rushing plays for over 40 yards, 4 receptions for 49.
Archer said it was crucial. I have to work him, and I've got to work him hard inside, and I have to be able to hold that defensive line. If it does, it sets up my play action, and the main thing I have to do after that, I've got to throw the ball to the outside and spread that defense across the field.
See Archer motioning Mills there. We told you earlier that Archer has been translating the Ottawa terminology for him throughout practice in the game. This time, Ellington in traffic makes a game effort, but can't hold on. Boy, he nearly got his head taken off as 3 Ticat defenders closed in.
Those big boys know once they go across the middle, the defensive guys are going to be sitting there. But David Archer does an excellent job setting up, getting the ball downfield, throwing it right underneath the cover, and the Duke almost comes up with a Houdini-type catch.
Yes, those are the suicidal pass routes receivers wince at when they hear it called in the huddle. Wayne Lamely, first punt, 48 yards. That was with the wind. Now he's going straight into it. Standing at his own 24-yard line. Cats hoping to get some field position here in the 2nd quarter with the wind. Oh, and he shanked it. Bad punt from Lamely. Andrew Gregg just falls on it, then he loses it. Smothers it in time before the Ottawa tackles come in, and there's a flag on the play. Could it be a late hit? Sammy Brennan among the Ottawa special team tacklers down on that play. Lee Knight, the former Tiger Cat, and Dave Denal. John Payne obviously unhappy with that one on a 25-yard
unnecessary roughness. Ottawa, number 99, first down Hamilton.
Jeff Cummins called for unnecessary roughness. Kept. Let's take a look at it.
Got to come just from the right of your screen as he comes in late. The thing and the roughness happens after the play. It looks like there's not much happening right there. I'm not sure about that call. I don't see any unnecessary roughness.
You're a defensive player, Kev. That looked like he buried his head in his shoulder, and it was unnecessary. 50-yard line, the give is to Saunders, and he barrels his way up for 6, maybe 7 yards on that first down play.
Now, you know, you and I are going to have a little go at it because as me being a defensive linebacker, you being an old quarterback, we don't see things eye to eye a lot.
I'll tell you, Kev, I've seen a lot of guys like you who like to lay those lickings on players who aren't expecting it. I know it feels good when you deliver it, but it hurts when you get it.
Well, that's the whole key. Then you got to be giving them as opposed to getting them.
Speaking of football, let me put in this plug for the Carleton Ravens. They are 3-0.
Oh, here we go again.
Ravens 3-0, having a good start to their college season. Here's Cavillo on the option play. And Jermaine Younger, the big plug at middle linebacker for Ottawa, making the tackle. Younger, one of the recent additions on this football team that John Payne says has really made it work. This team now taking more risks gambling in the Joe Moss philosophy.
Wes Younger comes right down the line of scrimmage. The option play looks wide open. Cavillo wants to turn it up on the quarterback. The pitch is taken care of. Younger shuts that hole down very quickly. 1st and 10, Hamilton at the Ottawa 40-yard line. Cavillo in the shotgun formation, throwing back to Cody on the hitch. Look at the moves by Cody, but he can't get away as Dwayne Knight and Henry come in for the tackle. What this Ottawa defense has really found in themselves is the ability to react, the speed that they have, a little misdirection hitch play, but this defense doesn't make very many false steps. They get to the ball very quickly because of that guy right there. Defensive coordinator Joe Moss puts those guys in a great position.
10 quarters now, the Riders yet to allow a touchdown on defense. Cavillo, 2nd down and 9. Earl Winfield with Henry all over him, and he comes down with the ball.
Here's where Henry is really kind of tentative because they flooded the wide side of the field. He's got Earl Winfield one-on-one on the backside, and he's waiting for him to make the move to the post. The safety has to get out of the middle to go to the wide side to favor, and that allows Earl Winfield to get to the inside and make that catch.
Winfield's first catch after the drop in the 1st quarter. He's also had an injury-plagued season.
Coming back after a couple of broken ribs a few weeks ago.
Cavillo, lots of time, over the middle of Saunders, and he can't get away from Lamar McGriggs. McGriggs, the last 2 weeks, has been the CFL Player of the Week, and he's only been in the league 3 weeks.
Coach Payne just paid that young linebacker high compliments yesterday, saying because of his involvement with this defense, and since his arrival, this defense has just elevated itself to play and be competitive with the rest of the defenses in this CFL.
McGriggs, a bona fide starter in the NFL with the Giants and Vikings. What a hit! Jason Phillips is rocked by Joe Merrill. And there's a flag on the play.
Going to have a holding against the Hamilton offensive line, but Jason Phillips does a great job holding on that ball. As you said, he does get rocked. Let's listen to the call by Lazarus.
The legal block to the head. Hamilton, number 67. 2nd down, repeat it.
All right, so Roosevelt Patterson charged with that hit, and Sudds is unhappy, and so is Patterson with the call, and that destroys a very productive-looking drive for the Ticats. 2nd down now. 20 yards. Cavillo, time, deep down the middle, looking for Cody, but it's 10 yards short, and Wilhite had the coverage. And so the Ticats blow an opportunity to score a touchdown. And Osbaldison is coming into the game to attempt a field goal.
Cavillo had an opportunity there. He had the post open to the backside. Poorly thrown ball. It was underthrown by a good 5 or 6 yards.
How about that defense? There's Jeff coming.
Look at him. Big Jeff, since coming over from Toronto, this guy has been making things happen defensively for the Rough Riders.
There's John Jenkins back as the offensive coordinator after being fired in midseason. The attempt from the 40 is good from Paul Osbaldison. 35-yard field goal for the Ticats. They're on the board. 14-6 Ottawa.
Well, back at Frank Clair Stadium, when the future of the Ottawa Rough Riders was uncertain 3 weeks ago, Ticats fans pledged to be here to show their support today if the team survived, which it did. Cats fans are here. They made the trip by train, arriving at 11 this morning and apparently ready for action. There'd be some Cats fans there. It's about a 4-hour trip, and 300 Tiger Cat fans made it, Mark.
Troy Mills around the outside, runs into a half a dozen of Ticat tacklers. The gain will be about 5 yards. You know, Jim Spiros in Montreal, hasn't he offered about 10,000 free seats to Ottawa fans who want to go there for the next game?
It's going to be good. This league is going to help out each other. Teams are going to help to get people in the stands. And what is going to happen also is this caliber of football like we see this afternoon is going to help to put fans in the stands, baby.
Good one going here. 14-6 Ottawa in the lead. Good crowd at Frank Clair Stadium. 2nd and 4. Archer behind the center. Pumps once, looking for Ellingson. Telegraphed that pass, and there's a flag on the play.
Late flag. I think we're going to get a pass interference against Gary Lewis. He was draped all over the Duke.
On the pump, Lewis made his move, and you're right. Crawled right up his back.
Well, you're allowed, just as he comes off the line of scrimmage, you're allowed that jam, but then what Gary did, he started to hang on the cloth a little bit and followed him all the way inside.
Here's
Listen
the
to
call.
Glasswood.
Legal contact and nose the receiver. Hamilton. First down, Ottawa.
So another big penalty for the Cats, this time on defense. Moving the yardsticks. First down, Ottawa. At their own 51-yard line. Sudsy showing disdain for the control of his own players right now in this game. Archer, straight back to pass. He's had all kinds of time. This time, Robert Gordon in tight coverage with Greer, and Gordon makes the snag.
Bobby Gordon, just one of the exceptional receivers in this league. Big catch last week against Saskatchewan for the winning score. And watch the touch on David Archer. Over the outstretched linebacker's hand, underneath the coverage for number 20, Derek Greer, and Bobby Gordon with defensive backs draped all over him. Makes the catch. Great concentration by the young man out of Marshall University.
First down, Ottawa at the Hamilton 42. Archer hands off to Troy Mills. There's a corridor right up the middle. You might have 3 or 4, and he's stuffed up by Gonzalo Floyd. And once again, there's some rough stuff after the play. They'll settle the argument when we come back to Ottawa. Welcome back to Frank Clair Stadium, where the Riders are threatening to blow this one open in the first half. We look like a couple of choir boys standing here holding these turds.
Mark, like I said, I don't know about you, but I sure need the help for my reputation. So if it works, let's work it, baby.
Ticats crossing themselves too. Archer over the top. Bull Duke with the catch, and he crosses the 35 to the 34. Tom Gerhardt with the tackle, and another flag, and more trash talk. Looks like James Monroe is the center of this latest skirmish. Ticats obviously upset. We'll get the call from Ken Lazaro. It looks like it's going against Ottawa.
Mike Campbell's in the middle. He's clapping his hands. He thinks that maybe he got the call against 59. A shot, one of those big offensive linemen trailing the play. Let's listen.
Unnecessary roughness. Ottawa, number 59. After the play ended, 3rd down.
So it was James Monroe at the center of that one. Unnecessary roughness, an unnecessary penalty, and it moves Ottawa way back now. The ball spotted.
Just to the left of your screen, you can see the ball's dead, the whistle's been blown. Monroe trying to make something happen. Everybody wants to get involved, but you have to be disciplined about doing it. That play right there put them out of field goal range. Maybe, you know, now they have to punt. So therefore, you're really hurting yourself.
The Riders, with a chance for at least a field goal on that drive, move back to the 49-yard line of Hamilton, and that forces Lamley to punt instead of attempt a field goal, standing across center at his own 47. Rider offense looking well-oiled, much better than the club that had trouble with the wind in Regina last weekend and needed 2 quick touchdowns at the end to bail it out.
Little delay there. Hamilton was 1 man short. He just came off the bench.
Kaiser and Grigg back to receive this punt from Lamley. Into the wind. 2:33 to go in the half. The Ticats need some field position and a good drive, and that's a beauty. What a punt. Spiraling back to Kaiser at his own 7-yard line. He's in trouble with nowhere to go.
Mark, on the BF Goodrich TA halftime report from Frank Clair today, Mike Harrigan last week became the first Hamilton quarterback in 6 weeks to go the distance. He delivered the Cats to victory over Edmonton. We'll hear from the veteran, who may not get a shot today given that Anthony Calvillo is moving the team. We'll take a look at how Toronto and BC carved out wins in 2 significant games yesterday, and we'll analyze the first half of this one. There's lots to analyze There's Mike Harrigan, as I say, gentlemen. He may not get a crack today because Calvillo has moved the Tiger Cats.
We asked Mike yesterday if he'd have any say as a player and coach about pulling Calvillo and putting himself in.
I told him, I said, yank that kid out of there early. Get in there, Mike.
Get me in there. Flags on the play as Calvillo can't get that first down situation off at his own 8-yard line.
Backs him up a bit. There's the young guy. Now it's a good time to pull him.
Time count violation. Hamilton, number 13, second down.
There you go. Time count violation against Calvillo. Kerrigan on the sidelines giving some instructions to Calvillo. Mike Kerrigan last week with 286 yards passing against Edmonton, moving ahead of Hall of Famer Bernie Poloni. What a bonus for him. He started this year, was cut, didn't think he'd ever play again. Earl Winfield with the catch on a smart pass by Calvillo to the 20. Henry making the tackle.
Shows you the great arm strength of Calvillo. He's going to throw the curl to the wide side of the field, deep in his own end zone. He's not afraid of that. Now take a look.
That's Evans, Stacey Evans, in his second game with the Rough Riders. All kinds of smoke up the middle. You know, when he came to Ottawa, the Customs Guard said, "You're going to play for who? That team's folding." He nearly went home.
He did. He was thinking about not signing.
Straight to the middle. Phillips with the catch. Calvillo moving the team smartly now. Up over the 35. Jason Phillips has been sure-handed in traffic. Nearly grabbed that one early in the second quarter. Made another big catch down at the 5 that was snuffed out by a Hamilton blocking penalty.
Quick setup. Looks to the curl route. Finds the open spot, the soft spot in the zone. And right there, Phillips makes a good reception. Keeps this drive alive.
Calvillo shouting to be heard over this noisy crowd. Makes the hitch pass. Lots of time. Over the top to Bert Thornton, and he's got the ball at center field. Lamar McGriggs making the tackle. First catch of the day for Thornton.
Watch McGriggs working to the outside. Now he comes up. He thinks it's going to be the hitch route. Gets downfield very quickly as number 4 Thornton brings the ball up. Then he breaks it straight up the seam. Calvillo does a good job of getting the ball to him. McGriggs with great lateral pursuit able to make that tackle.
Hitch pass once again to Thornton. Blocked by Phillips. But the Ottawa tacklers get there to stop that gain short of about 3 or 4 yards with 1:22 to go in the half. Joe Moss shouting instructions to this defense that has yet to allow a touchdown now in almost 2.5 games.
Well, they certainly want to keep that going. They're playing inspirational, and this guy is the key. He takes the athletes that are on the field, and he puts them in good position to get the job done and to make plays, and that's what they're doing. Their defense is making plays the last 3 or 4 games.
Calvillo, second down, finds Cody, but he drops the ball. Matt Cody had it just for a second, and Joe Farrell put the shot on him and made him drop it. That'll force a third down situation. Here's the ISO on Cody.
Take a look at Cody. He just kind of tries to sleep Merle as he comes off the line of scrimmage. Then he breaks out. He's wide open. The ball thrown behind him slightly. That allowed Merle to come back and make the play on that. You can see as Phillips comes off the line of scrimmage, he just decks the defensive back, drops him to his knees.
McGriggs, he is a blue chipper, made $2.1 million US in a 2-year contract with the New York Giants, then played 2 seasons with the Vikings and left last year in a contract dispute.
Illegal procedure against Hamilton. Backed it up a little bit. Ozzie will have to kick it from 5 yards deeper.
Legal procedure. Hamilton, number 27, still third down.
What's so funny about that? Cats aren't laughing, and neither is Sudsy.
Well, the Cats came by. Somebody came by and just kind of whispered a little something to the ref, and he kind of hit the funny bone.
And so Osbaldiston will punt from his own 40-yard line with the win. Will Height and Robert Gordon back to return, giving Ozzie lots of respect standing at their own 5. He shanks this one low. Will Height dives for it, drops it. It's a loose ball. The Cats think they've got it.
I think Bobby Gordon's on it underneath, number 84, Black. Take a look at it. The Ottawa Rough Riders, the jersey's down there, and it was number 84, I believe.
That was a close one. Wilhite diving as that ball came down quickly in a line drive punt from us, Baldiston.
Take a look at hitting that ball into the wind. Misjudges it, comes between his legs. Bobby Gordon very fortunate to be able to scoop it in with his left hand and drag it in away from Daryl Sampson.
Sampson and Jason Kaiser in there quickly and nearly got a huge break for the Cats with 57 seconds left in this opening half. Rough Riders, 1st and 10, deep in their own territory, and they'll be conservative. Hand off to Troy Mills, and they were waiting for that one. Big Mike Campbell putting the meat hooks on him.
Big Mike Campbell, again, as you said, leading the Hamilton defense with sacks this year at 7. Does a great job getting down and getting great penetration, and then he wants to make it known on his tackle. He's going to throw the guy to the turf.
That looked like a rodeo move.
Going to bulldog him. That's it.
Hogged and tied and quartered and all that stuff. 2nd and 13. 3-yard loss in the play. Riders now very dangerously deep. This time to Hinchcliffe or Rogers, and he makes the catch right at the first down marker, but he might be about a yard shy. Joe Rogers down the middle for Ottawa. 29 seconds to go.
I think you're right. With the spot it came back, he's about a yard, maybe a yard and a half short. Big call. This Ottawa team wants to go for it. But I think Coach Sean Payne is going to say, no. Calmer minds is going to prevail on this, and good decision. Let's kick this ball away.
Let's go to the half with a 14-6 lead. That catch, though, giving Lamley some breathing room to make this punt. Otherwise, he would have been standing back in the shadow of his own uprights in the Ottawa end zone. Last punt for Lamley, as you saw, 42 yards. A great shot into the wind, lots of spiral. He's got a huge leg.
Very strong, and it needs to be tested against this very steady wind at Frank Clair Stadium this afternoon.
Excuse me, Kep. Ticats have Earl Winfield deep now. You see the wind from left to right. It is gusting at times quite strongly. Lamley will have 20 seconds to get this play off. He's had his eyes on that flag, and now it's tight, blowing strong into his face. 29 seconds to go. Will the Cats go for the block or try to set up the return? They're going to set up the block, the return route. And it's a shake. Bad punt. Hamilton's got it. Looks like Don Robinson going high for it at about the 40-yard line. And so the Cats will be in field goal position. A 20-yard punt. Flags on the play. Could be no yards.
Well, I think you're exactly right. It is no yards. Lamley made a great effort to try to get downfield. He was not one of the guys caught in the no-yard zone.
Ken Lazarick with the call.
No yards. Ottawa, number 21. First down, Hamilton.
So, looks like Denal was too close, but a hard play when the wind is like that. It's hard to get back when the ball's hanging up so high.
Robinson did a great job of going up really high to pick it up and get the no-yard penalty.
Suddenly the ball is on the 27. DeVille going deep to Cody. He dives and can't get his hands on it. What a pass, though, right between the defenders, West and Henry. That was on the money, but Cody would have made a spectacular catch if he could bring it down.
Cavillo has not been off of many of these passes that he has thrown downfield. Cody almost comes up with the circus catch again in between the zone as he's running right down the field.
Cavillo wincing at that one. 2nd down and 10. In the shotgun with all kinds of time. Pump fake, pressure from behind. He's forced into the pocket and sacked. Younger, Birch, Cummins, all in on the play. Cavillo had time to make his decision, but couldn't make up his mind. 7 seconds to go in the half, and the Cats send in their field goal unit.
Just solid coverage on the outside by Henry and Wilhite on that side where Cavillo wanted to go. No place to go, forced him to have to tuck it down, and by the time he made the decision to scramble up the field, this Ottawa front four decided to close in on him, forced Ozzie into a field goal situation.
32-yard attempt from Osbaldiston to move him into 4th place in the all-time list of field goal kickers in the CFL, and it's good. So make it 3 for 3 for Ozzie, and the score 14-9 Ottawa at the half. We've got ourselves a good football game here in Ottawa. The Ticats and the Rough Riders.
Excellent defensive play by the Ottawa defense through the first half. David Archer comes out very methodical about the way that he is running this offense, using that guy right there, Ellington, who is a unlikely candidate to take the ball deep a lot, and David Archer knew that he could take it that way. But also the big play is the running inside of Troy Mill.
All right, it's 14-9. The Riders in front. Here's Scott Oak.
All right, Mark, heading for halftime then. Riders head coach John Payne joins us now from the field. John, give or take a turnover or two. Has your team just played one of its finest first halves of the season?
Well, we've played good. We've had too many penalties, foolish penalties that we don't need. We've got to get rid of those penalties, and you know, we're playing hard. We just need to solid up, eliminate the penalties, and do some things just a little better.
John, do you sense your team has raised its level in accordance with the support of the fans in this city now?
Oh, I think so, definitely. The fans are helping us a great deal, and we appreciate them very much.
All right, John, thank you for your time. I'll let you join your team.
All right.
So it's Ottawa leading 14-9, heading for halftime. Stand by now for the BF Goodrich TA halftime report coming up next.
Welcome to the BF Goodrich TA halftime. Now here's your host, Scott Oak.
We're at the half at Frank Clair Stadium with the Riders leading by 5. Welcome now to the BF Goodrich TA halftime report. If you're a quality quarterback who understands the Canadian game, you can have a long career in the CFL. If you're Mike Kerrigan, they won't let you retire. When all else fails, the Cats turn to Mike. It was an incredibly fast start to Mike Kerrigan's CFL career 11 years ago. In '86, he led the Cats to the Grey Cup, completing a record 35 passes in the championship game. He would be no flash in the pan. While other quarterbacks changed teams annually, Kerrigan stayed in Hamilton for 6 years. He didn't venture far, just down the road a few miles to Toronto in '92. He came home last year, only to find himself odd man out with the signing of an expensive and flashy quarterback.
Enjoying the summer, spending a lot of time at home with the family, playing a little bit of golf here and there, and then you get the call to come back and coach. That was the hardest part, was coming back as a coach, you know, after being a player for so many years. And then when Jenks came back again just last week, we hit it off right away.
Once again, the starting quarterback, Kerrigan, engineered an upset of Edmonton last week. His loyalty to the Cats has earned him undying respect from his teammates.
His leadership ability has taken us to another dimension.
I think with that age comes experience.
He just came at a time when we really needed him.
Flash. He could do it both. You know, he coaches and he comes out on the field and he showed that he could play.
You know, to go along with coaching and quarterbacking, to me, it's not a big stretch. You know, you are more concerned with everybody on offense when you're a coach rather than just your own position. You got to make sure things are, you know, clicking on all, 12 cylinders. But I think there's a little bit less pressure just when you're quarterbacking. You know, just go out there, pick up the ball, and throw it. It's a lot more fun playing. You know, I mean, coaching is great. You can get everybody ready, but then when you hit the field, it's out of your hands. You know, you can only get guys ready for 5 days, and then you know the ball's out of your hands. Being a player, you still have, you can make the things happen out there that you need to make happen. That's still the hardest thing, not playing. You know, you want to be able to go out there and play every down, and but you know, you just gotta. When you're not playing, you just gotta be ready to go if you get a shot, and then make the most of it.
Kerrigan, number 2 on the Cats chart today, backing up Anthony Calvillo and waiting for the shot. The good news for the Cats is Calvillo has marched his team, and that means Kerrigan may function only as a quarterback coach today. The BF Goodrich TA halftime report will continue. Well, it's a busy day in Ottawa. Senators are playing an exhibition game at the Corral Center. The stakes are a bit higher for the Rough Riders in this one at Frank Clair. They lead by 5 at the half. Well, spend a week hyping a game and then watch it fizzle. It's a common occurrence in professional sports, but it didn't happen yesterday at Skydome in the clash of the CFL's Titans. The Argos were down by 9 at halftime, and so they needed a big play, and they got it from Jimmy the Jet Cunningham. The game turned on Cunningham's speed. He just outran Kelvin Anderson and the rest of the Stamps in this 93-yard touchdown return to pull the Argos to within 2. And then the go-ahead points came in a spectacular play Doug Flutie to Paul Mazzotti, about 50 yards in the air, 47 more on the ground for a 97-yard scoring play. 20-13 Toronto on the way to a 23-22 victory.
How worried were you at the end of the first half with the Argos down by 9 and not able to get too much going offensively?
Not at all, because they weren't moving the ball either, so we knew our defense was keeping them in tight, and we just knew we were going to move the ball. We made some adjustments, and they seemed to work out.
So the Argos narrowly hold off the Stampeders to claim the title of the best in all the land for the time being, but these two teams meet again Thanksgiving weekend in Calgary. BC plays last night. Lions entertained Saskatchewan. This was a defensive ball game, and BC confirmed victory when Heath Rylands, under pressure in the fourth quarter, threw it into the flat. Virgil Robertson picked it off, returned it 41 yards to ensure a 22-10 Lions win. And the Lions have now won 3 of their last 4. So this is how the West stands after Week 13. Stampeders having lost 3 in a row. When's the last time that happened? Still lead, but the Eskimos are just 2 behind. Bombers are 500, and a huge win for the Lions last night to keep them in playoff contention. Once again, here are Mark and Dan, and how about the first half of this game? Great start, I thought, for the Ottawa Rough Riders on both sides of the ball. They put the Cats on notice by scoring on the opening drive.
Well, they really did. David Archer decided he was going to take charge. He got the ball, got it into the end zone quickly. That builds up a lot of confidence. And they are playing offensively, defensively, and special teams with confidence.
There's Archer's first touchdown pass in the first quarter to Joseph Rogers. You know, John Payne told us yesterday this is a game of trust. A quarterback has to trust his receivers will be at the right place at the right time, that he'll get the right blocking there. Archer on the next series throwing the interception to Justin Ring. But the hallmark of a good quarterback is to come back. Not your mistakes, but how you recover. And David Archer recovered, Kep.
He recovered quite quickly using the veteran, Duke Ellington, on a post corner route. Does an excellent job. Very touch pass, hits him in the end of the end zone. Big score for the Ottawa Rough Riders.
And one man
I'm not sure. I was going to say, I'm not sure what the stats are, but I think they'd show that the Cats have lots of offense, but only 9 points.
Well, that's about it. But their defense has been keeping them in this game, and that is exactly the key to a big team. A team that can play well-rounded. When your offense is having trouble, your defense plays good, and sooner or later, Cavill will make something happen in the second half.
And how about Troy Mills? I mean, we haven't mentioned him so far. He had 96 yards rushing and passing in the first half. Obviously, David Archer feels comfortable with him in the backfield.
All right, that's the BF Goodrich TA halftime report. Stand by now for the second half coming up from Frank Clair Stadium. The Ottawa Rough Riders leading the Hamilton Tiger Cats by 5.
At the turn for home here at Frank Clair Stadium, the home team, the Riders, with a 14-9 lead over the Tide Cats. Ottawa kicking off here. They will have the win kept for the all-important fourth quarter when there is more time.
Well, that's exactly right. So it's up to Cavill. It puts a lot of pressure on him and this Hamilton offense to go out there. They've got to put a significant amount of points on the board in the third quarter.
John Payne finally beginning to feel like his team has come together, coming in 2 games into the season after Jim Gilstrap was fired. He's retooled this team, and they're playing well. Ted Long receiving the opening kickoff in the second half for the Ticats, and he's down at the 40-yard line. There you look at the first half stats, and once again, very even, but yards passing. The edge goes to Hamilton, despite the fact they haven't been able to put the ball into the end zone.
Well, David's decided, Archer, to run the ball a little bit more. You can see 47 yards rushing with Mills inside. That's helped to open up his play-action passing game again.
Cats, though, killed by 2 costly penalties. The one when Phillips had the ball at the 5-yard line, snuffing out that drive, forcing a field goal. Another when a field goal was pushed out of range by a holding call on the offensive line. Calvillo down the middle.
That's the catch.
Ted Long with the catch as McGriggs came over top, tried to make the tip, but couldn't get there in time.
There's a trio of Ottawa defense around him, and Long comes up with the big catch. Take a look at the stats between the 2 quarterbacks competing today.
So far, Archer with 2 passing touchdowns, both quarterbacks with an interception each, but Cavillo has been more active through the air. Archer on the bench now, watching his counterpart, Cavillo handing off to Mike Saunders, and he stacked up McGriggs once again, coming in to make the stop with some help.
A swarming defense, great penetration up front by Swift Birch and Stacey Evans in the middle, shuts Michael Saunders down to no gain whatsoever.
Dwayne Knight in his second season, linebacking core with the Rough Riders. His game has been elevated with the arrival of McGriggs, an NFL strong safety. He says he's having fun for the first time in many years, playing in the Canadian Football League.
That's what you like doing defensively. You want to get out there, you want to have some fun, you want to run around, you want to hit people, you want to win football games.
2nd and 8. Trouble. Gavillo gets it away. Long appeared to have the first down, but then came back. Where will they spot it? McGriggs again in on the tackles.
If it's short of the 40, it'll be just a little short of the first down. But short enough that I think Hamilton will go for it.
Long was coming back towards the ball when he made the catch and actually was over the first down marker when he caught it, but then lost some yardage.
Calvillo knows he's going to take a shot from Cummings.
See, he was a yard over the line.
He was. When he came back, McGriggs makes the tackle, throws him down, makes it 3rd and short.
First 3rd down gamble of the game. The Cats. Cavillo hesitates with the option, and he's got all kinds of real estate. First down. Cavillo pulled down by Swift Birch.
Cavillo does a great job. This time, he does an excellent job getting down the line of scrimmage. He fakes the toss. Knight goes up for the toss. Now he cuts back. Now watch. Younger's going to come across. Number 99 is there. It's coming, and he makes an excellent move to get back inside, pick up the first down. Headsy play by the quarterback.
Gutsy call from Cavillo. Now back to pass, and he's pulled down. Stacey Evans, the tackle from the Detroit Lions. Another Leo Cahill addition in the last few weeks that has made this Rider defense stalwart.
This guy played for the Rhine Fire in the World Football League out of South Carolina. Good move, solid push up the middle of the pocket. Cavillo sitting there, he's a sitting duck, and this guy's going to find him and have a little lunch.
Cahill says he's the final missing piece in this puzzle for the Ottawa defense. Evans, Younger, McGriggs, late additions in the last few weeks have made this team, this defense of Ottawa, so strong. No touchdowns against. 11 quarters of football. That one nearly picked off. The intended receiver was Phillips, and Henry poached on that play and then jumped at the last minute. Joe Miro rather, with a great defensive play, Kev.
And what he does as he comes off the line of scrimmage, now watch this play. Miro is the one that's making the effort to get back toward the ball. Number 2 is Jason Phillips sitting there, and he kind of sits down on the line of scrimmage, or just sits right down on the 15-yard line, I should say, and sits there, waits for the ball to come to him. Miro makes the break on the ball, and that's why he made the play.
Once again, the Riders refusing to allow a touchdown, field goal attempt from about the 41-yard line, and Osbaldiston with the win is good. Osbaldiston 4 for 4, and this game is closer, only 2. Ticats offensive coordinator John Jenkins on the left, matching minds with Ottawa defensive coordinator Joe Moss on the right. So far, it's all Moss. The Ottawa defense has been controlling the line of scrimmage.
Huge chess match going on there between those coordinators, and as you said, Moss is getting the better of it, but this Hamilton team is bending. They're not breaking yet.
The give is to Troy Mills, but there's all kinds of traffic. He might get 2, maybe 3. Gonzalo Floyd, a gang tackle effort on Mills by the Tiger Cats.
One of the keys to this offensive system is the offensive line. Okeke doing an excellent job getting off that line of scrimmage. This guy, 6'2", about 300 pounds, out of SMU, doing a good job to create some holes and also buy some time for David Archer to throw the ball downfield.
So the gain is 3, make it 2nd and 7. And Ottawa has been good at converting second down situations. Archer going deep. Wide open is Joseph Rogers, and he's down to the Hamilton 40. Hitchcock making the tackle, but on that play, the linebacker Ring couldn't keep step.
Rogers is down. It's one-on-one on the outside. They brought in Greg Eaglin. Now, when Eaglin tries to make a jam on Rogers, he hits him, and then he lets him go, and that allows David Archer to have plenty of time that you can see. Look at the time he has to throw, lays that touch pass out there, and Rogers makes no mistake of coming up with the grab.
Jason Ring trying to react at the last minute to help out Eaglin. It was too late. Here's Archer now in the pocket, dumps it off. Number Number 34, Sean Daniels with the catch, and he rambles over the 40, over the 35, and deep into Hamilton territory. John Payne has this offense firing.
Sean Daniels is used mostly, obvious as a blocking back, steps up, makes a good effort just to the right of your screen at the top, then releases. He's a safety valve, and David Archer finds it and dumps it to him, so something big happens out of something that looked like nothing to begin with.
That was Daniels' 7th reception of the season. As you mentioned, normally used only in a blocking situation. This time, Mills going up the middle, needs 2 yards for the first down. Michael Philbrick knocks heads with him, and it looks like he might have it.
Troy Mills is not a small back. Now, he's about 6 foot, goes about 200 pounds, and it's his second effort that may have gotten that first down.
Troy Mills getting all kinds of work here today in his first game as an Ottawa Rough Rider. Played with Archer 2 years ago in Sacramento. They're going to measure this one. It's very close. I think they might have it, Kep.
By the length of the ball,
yep. First down, Ottawa.
Now watch the surge of this offensive line come off on the right side. He gets hit quickly. That's Campbell in the back, but he slips off of it. He breaks that tackle, and that second effort picks up the first down just by the football.
That's power to go right through the grip of Michael Philbrick. First and 10, Ottawa at the Hamilton 31-yard line. Ottawa eating up the time against the wind. Pass to the wide side to Willie Hinchcliffe. He's hard to bring down. The gain will be a few.
One of the very few passes thrown in his direction. May have been the first one today, I think, to him. This guy is an inexperienced receiver. He's not a young man. He's just inexperienced as being a wide receiver, but he has such great speed. David Archer knows that that defense has to respect his ability to take it deep.
Hinchcliffe, a former sprinter for New Zealand, training with the Canadian bobsled team in Calgary, then turned to Canadian football. Here's Archer, back to pass. He's got Robert Gordon. Gordon breaks a tackle and is finally twisted down at the 5-yard line.
Bobby Gordon and Rogers are in the same area. Rogers slides up underneath, and he actually thinks the pass is thrown over his head. Watch the two guys lined up here beside each other. Rogers is going to take it in, cut it a little short. David Archer wants to take it up over top. What a great pass in between the defenders.
Surgical precision on the part of David Archer, because that was good coverage. Don Robinson was step for step with Gordon. The ball right on the money. First and goal, Ottawa just over the 5-yard line. Archer will throw across the middle into traffic. Troy Mills was the intended receiver, and there's a flag on the play. Mills is complaining he was interfered with.
Well, I think he may be well right. He comes out of the backfield. He's going to release straight up the field, and Tom Gerhardt looked like he may have got called for the push.
Forward pass interference. Hamilton, number 45, first on Ottawa.
Good call, Kep. It was Tom Gerhardt with the interference.
Coming back, like you see right at the end in the middle of your screen, as the ball's thrown up in the air, the contact is made right at the goal line, and they called it first and goal from the 5, Mark.
The give is to Daniels, and he's stacked up by 3 or 4 Ticat defenders, and there's another flag on the play.
Hamilton thinks they come up with the ball or the fumble, but I think they're going to be called for offside.
You hear one of the players yell offside. There's Campbell with a shove. This has been a testy battle all afternoon.
Offside, Hamilton, number 17, still first out.
Penalties have been killing the Cats, and if they're going to have a goal line stand, they can't do that.
Just at the bottom of your screen, that's number 17 coming in very slowly. He must have been lined up offside, and that's impossible. It's just one of those kind of mistakes that you don't want to make, is to be lined up in this crucial situation because you're not involved in the play.
First and goal from the 1. Archer turns with the fake. Wide open. It's picked off. Donovan Wright with the interception of what looked like a seeming Ottawa touchdown situation, and so the Ticats take over. We're back after this.
Take a look right here. Here's Donovan Wright. He's right here. okay? Now watch the play. He's going to follow the eyes. This is a tight end eligible here. Here's Cummings right here. He's wide open down the field. All he has to do is lob it over the outstretched hands, but Donovan Wright comes up with a big defensive play.
Jeff Cummings, the defensive end, in at offensive end on a sneaky play that was sniffed out by the Cats. And this time, it's Stacey Evans with a sack on Cavillo.
Little celebration. That's his first sack. It's coming to Ottawa.
Stacey Evans right up through the middle, the heart of that Canadian core of blockers in the Hamilton offensive line. 7-yard loss on the sack to Cavillo. Make it 2nd and 17. 5:59 to go in the third quarter. Cavillo with time finds Matt Cody, throws it behind him, but a great reach by the rangy receiver.
Great adjustment by Matt Cody downfield. Makes the turn. He's wide open. Cavillo just forced to throw in there, but you'll see it's going to come to the outside of him as he's throwing to the end. Now watch the adjustment. Come back to it. Quick plant. Great hand.
And because he had to come back and make the catch, he was short of the first down by 2 yards. Had that ball been on the money, he would have been able to fall forward or keep running. And so the Cats are going to have to punt as Cavillo goes to the bench. Paul is Baldiston, 42.2-yard average. And he's got the wind at his back. Robert Gordon and Kenny Wilhite back to receive for Ottawa, standing at their own 30.
Ozzie needs to boom one right now and back up this Ottawa offense.
He shanked it to the right. Kenny Wilhite with a catch on the run. And he's downed almost immediately by Greg England as he gets across the 45-yard line. Kaiser having words with Wilhite once again. Next Saturday at 8 Eastern, a night game, as Winnipeg travels to Regina to play the Saskatchewan Roughriders. The Bombers 6-6 and quickly fading from that third-place race. And of course, next Sunday at 1 Eastern, we are in Hamilton. Paul is Baldiston and the Tiger Cats versus the Alouettes. Here at Frank Clair Stadium, great football game. 2 points separating the Riders, hoping to have a future from the Tiger Cats. It's 14-12. Archer at quarterback, giving to Troy Mills. Finds another seam around the right side, breaks a couple of tackles, and crosses the Hamilton 50-yard line. Joe Montfort finally brings him down when it looked like he might be stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
Little counter play with a trap. OKK's going to pull across the formation. Mills sets it up. The late block. Now he's going to come out around behind him. Picks up good yardage. David Archer said, the main thing I have to do today is ball control and first down production, and he is getting it with the running of Troy Mills this afternoon.
Great block on Gerhardt and a great read by Mills to move outside. First down, Ottawa. The give now to Daniels up the middle, and he's smothered for a gain of maybe 1.
But you have to think of the philosophy right now of David Archer. He's contented to run this ball if he can pick up first downs because the clock is running. Sooner or later, the fourth quarter is going to turn around, and he's going to have the wind going the other way. And Hamilton in a catch-up situation, it's going to be a little tougher for him.
Exactly. Archer is keeping the Hamilton offense off the field when they have the wind here in the third quarter.
It's the best defense you can put on a football field at any time is a potent, possessive type offense.
Ottawa with a 20-yard advantage in the rushing department. That one knocked down by Floyd. Nearly picked off. A little swing pass intended for Troy Mills. Gonzalo Floyd with 1 sack coming into this game, and he went up high on that pass.
Just at the top of your screen, David Archer, just a little lackadaisical as he dumps that thing out, doesn't anticipate Floyd getting up the field, and that big paw coming out, knocking it down. 2 big defensive plays by this Hamilton team had really negated some opportunities for David Archer to put more points on the board.
Now Lamley with a 33.8-yard average will attempt to pierce this wind and pin Hamilton deep in their own territory. Kaiser, the lone man back. Lamley gets a decent punt that hangs up and will come down at the 15. Kaiser Surrounded by the Ottawa special teams is a late flag on the play.
But they're going to be the no yards, and I think that is. It comes from the backside across the field.
32-yard punt and a 2-yard return. The Cats on offense when we come back to Ottawa. Pressure clearly on Anthony Cavillo for the Tiger Cats in a duel with David Archer, but so far the veteran has had the upper hand with 2 touchdown passes. Cavillo yet to get the Cats into the end zone. Consider this. They are 0-7 when trailing at the 3-quarter pole. 3 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. With the win, they got to get this thing going. Here's Saunders with the give up the middle, and a good run, 8-9 yards, close to the first down.
Now, this is the first sign that we've seen through the course of this afternoon that Hamilton has a running game, and you need to rush the ball enough, particularly when you've got a back like Mike Saunders in the backfield, or else this Ottawa defense, all they do is tee it up and get after that quarterback and play good pass defense and take away the pass.
Don Southern with 7 Grey Cup rings, a spot in the Hall of Fame, but yet to have a winning season as a head coach. The option play, this time Cavillo runs for his life as Younger sniffs that one out and tracks him down. It's a first down, though, as Cavillo rounds the turn and goes over the 40-yard line to the 41.
Smart play by the young quarterback that time as Younger's working inside out as a linebacker. If Cavillo was trying to cut that back, that man was going to take his head off.
Younger is a monster, 5'11", 250 pounds. Reminds me a bit of Marvin Pope.
And this guy is quick. He moves sideline to sideline as good as anybody in the league.
Flag on the play. Cavillo bailing out of the pocket, decides to throw. He's got Thornton wide open. What was Merrill doing on that play? He bit on the run and left his man. Bert Thornton with a big gain for the Tiger Cats.
That's what happens when a defensive back looks into the backfield and the play's going away from him. He kind of loses touch on his receiver. Cavillo did a great job getting upfield.
Decline.
Offside against Ottawa. As I said, Cavillo did a great job. He got up into the hole and found the receiver wide open down the sideline. Made a big play.
Broken play as Cavillo was bailing out of the pocket. Here it is again, surrounded by Ottawa defenders. And there you see Merrill, a good 10 yards from his man.
Just never thought that Cavillo had the arm strength or the opportunity to get the ball to that side.
Offside flags flying. That play whistled down, and Cummins is exchanging pleasantries with number 67, Roosevelt Patterson. There they go again, barking their face masks.
Legal procedure. Hamilton, number 61, still first down.
Looked like Patterson gave him a shot in the face, then Cummins returned the fire.
Hey, that's the second time he's been called for that. The first move that he makes is the right hand of Patterson comes up into the face of Cummins and gets the snap on him, and Cummins takes a little exception to that.
See Cummins take off his helmet? Now that's a tough guy.
Okay.
Or is he not too smart?
I think you better leave that helmet on, buddy. That's $400 worth of hardware that'll protect your head.
First and 15. Draw to Saunders from the shotgun. He might have 4 or 5, but McGriggs quickly reads that one. Lamar McGriggs has been smart on defense for Ottawa.
Watch McGriggs down the line of scrimmage, comes off the block, slides down, is going to get his hands on Mike Saunders and negate that to about a 3-yard gain. That kind of rushing there is not going to fool anybody. It doesn't set up anything. The Hamilton offense is having a tough time, even when they are trying to rush the ball, because they have not rushed it enough.
Second and 14, and Cavillo's attempt is knocked down by the linebacker, Dwayne Knight, who's been celebrating, and there's Joe Moss, who's got a defense that gambles and has really been stuffing this Hamilton offense.
When you've got this kind of athletes on your team, you're able to do so many different things. Cavillo is telegraphing the pass completely to Cody behind it. All Knight has to do, he's standing right in the hole, just get vertical, get the hands up, comes up with the knockdown.
Wayne Knight from Virginia Polytech, second year with the Riders, as Buzz Balderson sets up his 5th field goal attempt from the 48-yard line. Gets the leg into it, lots of distance, and it's good. Paul Osbaldiston now good on all 5 of his field goal attempts, and the Tiger Cats take the lead for the first time in this game, 15-14.
Now, just think about it. If you blink your eyes a bit, you think, how did they do that? How did they take the lead? Because they have not looked productive through the course of these 3 quarters. They've been behind. They've been playing catch-up the whole time. And before you know it, this defense of Hamilton has kept them in the ball game. Now they're ahead, 15-14.
So the Rider defense giving up 5 field goals, but Sudsy can't get the ball into the end zone. Now, David Archer coming back onto the field. The Ottawa offense taking over at their own 35-yard line. Sudsy has been frustrated in this game by bad penalties and an inability of the Hamilton offense to convert good drives.
Sudsy also, Coach Don Southern, one of the few coaches, head coaches, very involved as defensive coordinator of the Hamilton defense.
Troy Mills goes outside and is finally brought down by Montfort and number 90, Gonzalo Floyd. Troy Mills taking the lion's share of work in this Ottawa offense, and now the Hamilton defense is beginning to catch on.
Troy Mills is one of those guys we talked about. Is he in good game shape? He has to be for David Archer to be utilizing him as much as he is. But right now, they've done what they've wanted to do. They've been able to run out the third quarter, give Hamilton the win. They only come away with 3 points. Now they're turning it around after this play, and David Archer will be able to try to take something to the ballpark.
Last play of the quarter, the pass to Bolduc. He can't stay in bounds. Forced out about 4 yards short of the first down marker by Derek Greer. The gun at the quarter, and the Tiger Cats are leading 15-14 over Ottawa. We're back to Ottawa after this. Back at Frank Fair Stadium, where the Rough Riders announcing today a crowd of 26,813. Look at that, the second biggest crowd of the year. We've got to go back 13 years to 1983 to find attendance in this neighborhood. Football seemingly alive and well here in Ottawa, and the Rough Riders trailing by 1, 15-14 against Hamilton. The Ticats, all 5 of their wins kept this year. They have been leading at the start of the 4th quarter, and a booming punt by Lamely, sending Kaiser back inside his 10. There's a block by Sampson from behind and a flag. That one's coming back.
Sampson on David Denal. Gets called for an illegal block, trying to set up the corner on the wall.
61-yard boof by Lamely, a 12-yard return. And it's going back. Here's Ken Lazarick with the call.
Back it up a further 10 from that spot.
Illegal block. Hamilton, number 33. First down.
Another look at it, Ken, from the end zone.
You can see that very clearly. Just loses his concentration. If you can't get your head in front of the block, don't make the block.
Turnovers, the all-telling statistic for the Riders, who fall behind for the first time. They've got 3, the Cats just 1. The yardage virtually even. 1 quarter of football to go here in Ottawa. And the Cats scrimmaging on their own 7-yard line. Jason Kaiser is hurt on that last punt return, going out of bounds. Here's Cavillo on his goal line, in trouble. Burks gets a hand on him. Evans gets a hand on him, and he's down.
This crowd is going wild here for Ottawa, and Cavillo was having trouble getting the audibles to the receivers along the line of scrimmage. Good defensive play up front. Evans controls the middle, slides back into the pocket, along with number 90, Swifty Birch, to make that sack.
Birch's game has been elevated by the addition of Evans, according to John Payne. This defense, stingy, and again, it's Birch. with Birch and the Ottawa defense hitting Hamilton deep into a tense punting situation into the wind.
Here's how you make up for anything you may lack in: emotion. And that's what we're seeing out there today. Offensively and defensively from this Ottawa team, they are playing inspired with emotion.
And the fans are in this one too. The Riders feeding off this crowd of 26,008. And now Osbaldiston deep in his own end zone. Sudsey trying to relay some communications to the blocking coverage for Hamilton. They got too many men on the field. Two guys just came off. Now one comes back on. The Cats in disarray. Greer came off the field and it's a terrible punt. Taken by Wilhite at the 36. Dances across the 30. He's got room. Another block is missed as Wilhite comes down at the Hamilton 25. And there's a flag on the play. Ottawa with great field position when we come back.
The CFL on CBC. Brought to you by the New Bell. We'll earn your business.
Just chanting Russ Russer, so they remember Russ Jackson, obviously retired in 1969, active in the Save the Riders campaign. But Russ, you say your team's got to win this one.
Oh yeah, they have to, because it makes a difference being 3 games behind Hamilton or 1 game for that last playoff spot. So this is the big game to keep the fans really interested.
Is this franchise safe now?
Oh, I think they are. I think Jim Durrell is doing a great job. The fans want football here. They just have to find an owner. That's the key. Someone who's going to take an interest in this city.
Russ, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Bolduc heading for the end zone and is knocked out at the 1. Hitchcock saving the day. Andre Bolduc, 24-yard gain out of the backfield on the swing pass from David Archer, and he's put Ottawa on the goal line.
Let's take a look. We're just right here. All it is just a swing pattern. He comes out all by himself. David Archer takes his time. Now he gets a little height on the ball. No Hamilton defender is around there. Blown coverage in the secondary. And Bolduc does an excellent job of getting the ball downfield. Rob Hitchcock comes over with the big hit to save the touchdown.
First and goal. Fans on their seats. Archer. There's a mix-up and a fumble. Not again. Ottawa. Do they get the ball back as a free ball? It's still free. Hamilton. The Cats have got it.
Gary Lewis.
John Payne can't believe it. That's twice now Ottawa's been on the doorstep, only to fumble and be picked off.
Mark, a very innocent looking play.
And there's a flag on the play.
Let's take a look at the handoff. The ball just kind of hits him on the hip.
And it's kicked by Cummins.
Yeah, Mills never has control of the ball. Then it's a hot potato going across the field.
Gordon can't get on it. And finally, number 17, Gary Lewis, snares the football.
They're very fortunate because they have a penalty against Hamilton. Gives the Ottawa another chance to get it in.
What a break for the Riders. It's first and goal. On the 1, Archer gives it to Troy Mills, and he's stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
Oh, baby, you gotta love that kind of defense when you get up there. If you watch, and when we see this replay, watch the feet of Troy Mills. He takes the handoff. He kind of starts shuffling, and now he's going to tiptoe rather than run this ball up in their heart. Watch right here. No way. Boom! Now you're going to take it back the other way. This defense of Hamilton, as I said, they have been keeping these guys in the ball game.
Donovan Wright again making a great play. He had the interception the last time.
Wright is there, Small is there.
Here's Archer, the give to Mills. Tries to go outside, and he forces it in. What an effort.
Now the big effort by Troy Mills.
Robert Stevenson. Touchdown Ottawa. They take
think Troy Mills knew that he didn't give it his best effort on the play right before that. But this time, it was a great second effort and good leg strength to get it in the end zone.
Convert from Lamely. Routine. Ottawa now leading Hamilton 21-15. Troy Mills. Yeoman's effort for the Riders on the ground and through the air. Gets his first touchdown in an Ottawa uniform with a little over 11 minutes to go in this football game. What a battle.
What a terrific effort this is. Ottawa knows they've got to win and they've got to score some points, and they are just rising up on the occasion. Take a look at the effort here. He hands it outside. Big 51 is Stevenson. Gerhardt gets outside. And what a good move to set the defensive guy up to the outside. Then he breaks, makes the cut back. Look at the plant. Boom, now quick. Back inside. Now where the leg strength takes place. And he gets it into the end zone. Take a look at this guy right here. He's going to come off this side. And here is the big play that's going to get happen. Nothing to it. Pull out real quick. Get up the field. Make a block. Find somebody. Grab, claw, do what you can, but get the ball in the end zone, and Ottawa does it.
And a huge play on Gonzalo Floyd, number 90. You can see him flying inside, was sealed on the corner to open up some room for Troy Mills. The Rough Riders, 21-20. There's a flag on that last convert, apparently, Kep, as we were looking at those series of Troy Mill replays.
Objection of conduct. Hamilton, number 98. Go up 10.
Objectionable conduct called against Mike Campbell of the Ticats. See if we can see what happened. That was the touchdown by Mills. He went over the line of scrimmage, and now Campbell, of course, having some words with the officials, and he.
Well, I think that's the case. Mike's a little upset, and obviously he's a guy that plays with a lot of heart. He plays with a lot of emotion, and he's upset the first time that they stopped him, that they got the penalty. I think that was the call. Mike said, hey, I can't, I've had enough of you. We're out here getting our heads kicked in, and we're trying to have some fun, and we're trying to win a football game. We don't need you to interfere with this game. That's kind of what the talk takes place in those kind of conversations. But we end up, as ball players, we end up losing most of them.
All right, so Lamely will kick the cover again from the 22. There's more flags on the play.
But I think you're going to get offsides against Hamilton, and I think you'll have illegal contact, obviously, with Lamely. I think you're going to get 2 penalties there.
And he's still down. Referee Ken Lazaruk hashing out the calls with his officials as Lee Knight listens in.
The penalties will probably take place on the kickoff.
Lamely is being helped off the field. That was a cheap shot. Riders punter and place kicker injured on that convert attempt, and it appears to be his right leg.
Now watch as he comes through the ball, and I think it's number 17, Lewis, if I'm not mistaken. No, I take that back. It's number 9. That's Robinson that comes across and then gets the shot on the knee.
We have objection of conduct. Hamilton, number 98. Offside. Hamilton, number 98.
That certainly.
We have unnecessary roughness on the kicker. Hamilton, number 9. All will be applied on the kickoff.
That was 3 Hamilton penalties on 1 convert play. That is total. That can't be called for by Sudsy.
Yeah, but Robinson, like that, he's trying to make a great effort. He's selling out in front of that kick. He wasn't intentionally going for the kicker's leg. I believe he's a better ball player than that. He's a classier guy than that. He's not going to try to hurt the kicker. It just happened as he tried to block that extra point. He got caught, that's all.
Well, that extra point, crucial at this stage. 21-15, Ottawa leading by 6. 2 field goals for a touchdown. Would have been 5 had Hamilton been able to block it. So they sort out the penalties and take a look at where they're going to spot the ball for the kickoff.
45 of Hamilton.
And Ottawa's got the win, so what do you do here? You put it in.
You definitely want to put the ball in play. I think you want to put it in play, kick it short, and back up Hamilton and make them go as far as they have to go against this win. Don't kick it through the end zone to pick up a single point. They get the ball on the 35 then.
So will John Payne attempt to trap Hamilton deep in its own end with 11:09 to go in this game, and the Riders leading by 6. The Cats facing a stiff wind.
If you take a look now, Hamilton has what they call their hands team. All their skilled players a lot, except for the front line guys, or the blockers, anticipating a short kind of onside kick.
Well, that would be an interesting move by the Riders. It's Lee Knight making the kick, and it is a short kick attempt. And it's caught by Earl Winfield, and he's out of bounds at about the 39.
Mark, you don't know what a dangerous kind of kick that is, because if Earl makes that catch and gets by one person, it is right to the house into a big score for the Hamilton Ticats.
Winfield catching that one on the fly, and Sudsy now trying to get some offense going. The Ticats yet to score a touchdown in this football game. 15 points on 5 straight field goals by Paul Osbaldiston.
The first time these two teams met, Hamilton won 35-23. They only ran the ball 6 times during the game. So far this game, they've only run the ball 11 times. 5 have been from the quarterback.
Here's Cavill. Time. Right side to Mac Cody, and he dropped it right in his hands. Can't believe it. Mac Cody perhaps guilty of turning and running with the ball before he had it.
Great receivers and great athletes are going to make mistakes. Just as we saw in the earlier part of the game, Winfield dropped an easy one, and it went right through his hands. He just knew that that catch was automatic. He was going to turn it upfield, and Cavill takes the shot. By Vizakovich, that comes in late.
Here's Cavill again, this time to Thornton, and he's got it! Breaks a tackle, breaks another one, crosses the 40-yard line, and is finally hauled down deep in Ottawa territory. Lamar McGriggs making the tackle, and Thornton is wincing. What a great play, a game-breaking play for the Ticat offense.
Don Southern says about this receiver, he says he is super at what he does, but his biggest asset is what he does after he makes the catch, and we get a good taste of it in this shot.
For the Ticats now, moving the ball into the wind. Don Southern watching on as Cavill drops back and throws for Winfield. He goes back for it, but can't hold on. Cobb Henry right behind him. The tackle and the dance.
Cavill not being very stable when he's setting up. He's throwing the ball off balance. He's not having the time that he wants. And when he did, he planted that foot very quickly, threw the ball to the outside again, trying to throw it away from the receiver as Winfield is curling and bringing it back inside toward him.
2nd and 10 as Joe Moss looks on to his defensive unit from the 36-yard line of the Rough Riders. Big play here.
Don't need to take it to the house, but you've got to pick up the first down.
Cavill, lots of time. It's tipped. No good. Stacey Evans got his hands up and tipped that pass from Cavill. Now, can they get a field goal from here, or will they punt? Ball on the 36, into the wind.
Ozzy's longest field goal so far this season is from the 47. Take a look. He's got him one-on-one, trying to go either to Phillips or to Saunders, who is in that direction, that vicinity. But Stacey Evans gets the hand up and knocks it down.
Frustrating for Cavill because Phillips was open on the out. 43-yard attempt for Osbaldiston into a wind. It's up.
Not going to make it.
Held up, and it's going to be short and wide. Wilhite on the goal line, cuts across the 10, puts his head down, and is dropped at the Ottawa 15-yard line. So Osbaldiston missing on his first field goal of the game. It's 21-15 Ottawa. Paul Osbaldiston missing his first in 6 attempts at field goals, kept into the wind. Didn't look like he had the same leg power which we've come to see. Here's the post above the pin from Kerrigan. It's down.
Looks like a good hold there. I think the problem is with that grow and pull that you can see he just doesn't have the leg strength that Ozzy would normally have in those kicks.
Sudsy said a week ago Ozzy didn't think he could play against Hamilton and was even doubtful this week as Mills gets the call over the right side. In fact, Sudsy said, you know, maybe he went and looked for Mark Crombie, the kid from McMaster University, to substitute for Osbaldiston. Had him at practice this week, but Ozzie seemed to come around.
Well, he said last game against Edmonton, he said, I'm greeted at the dressing room by Ozzie, who's standing there and says, I can't kick today.
So he phoned Mark Crombie.
Yeah, and he says, I'm sorry, you have to kick today. And Osbaldiston went out there and gutted it up.
Crombie was apparently out shopping for a futon or something. It wasn't available. Here's Mills. Short pass over the middle, but it won't be far enough for a first down, about 5 yards short, as Michael Philbrick makes the tackle.
Mark, there's a lot of time left. 21-15 for Ottawa. You can't get too conservative right now. You got to go in there with the same kind of game plan, I think. Run the ball hard, try to throw the ball vertical, get it up the field when you have the win, even if you do, and preserve this lead. Because now they get to kick it. This Hamilton offense, they're only about a step or two or a pass or two away of putting the ball in the end zone for a score.
Ottawa trainers looking on to Wayne Lamely. We'll see how his leg is after he was injured on that convert attempt. He's got the wind, and the Cats have sent Earl Winfield deep to return. Lamely on his own 5-yard line. Will the Cats come for the block or set up the return? Setting up the return, Lamely gets one away. It's a good one. Earl Winfield at his own 37. Tries to get outside. The Ottawa special teams corral him just across the 45 to the 47-yard line. First quarter, Ottawa opening up with a 7-0 lead on their opening series. It was Rogers on a 4-yard pass, touchdown pass from Archer. Then Osbaldiston with his first of 5 field goals in a row, making it 7-3. Ellingson, the Duke, on an 11-yard reception in the second quarter. Ottawa up 14-6. Osbaldiston back again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row. It was 14-12 at the quarter when Osbaldiston put Hamilton in front by 1 to start the fourth quarter. But Mills on that 1-yard rush, putting Ottawa in front here with 7:21 to go, and Saunders being hauled down after a gain of about 6.
Mike Saunders coming out after being out, played the first 4 games with the Montreal Alouettes. Then a guy had the knee injury, came back. Now he feels he's strong, but he just has not been utilized to his extent today. He's a great receiver out of the backfield.
Flags as that play is blown down, and Cummins chucks Cavillo after the whistle. Cavillo having words with Cummins on the play. Just a good-natured shot. 2nd and 4 situation for the Cats.
League of procedure, Hamilton, number 60. Unnecessary roughness, Ottawa, number 99. First down, Hamilton.
So Morgan and Cummins once again tangling and being penalized.
They've been going at it all day long. Cummins gets across the line of scrimmage. Now he's going to come in, and it's just not a smart play. You get that close, even if you shove him, a big guy like that, that's a little quarterback. He goes down, now you get a penalty. You have to play exceptionally smart football, particularly in the fourth quarter when you got the lead.
1st and 10 from the Ottawa 47. Cavillo pumps once, goes deep for Thornton. He's open, and what a hit! But he hangs onto the ball. Djokovic plowing Thornton at the 12-yard line of the Riders.
Cavillo does an excellent job of freezing that defense just a slight bit with the pump. Then he takes it right down the seam to Thornton. Jason Djokovic was slow getting there. And this is why he's got so much time to take it down 35 yards. Good guys up front, does an excellent job, steps up into the pocket. St. John does a good job of running Evans by the play.
Ball spotted on the 13-yard line. 1st and 10. Cavillo, lots of time, looking for Cody, but it's knocked down. What an effort by Wilhite. Kenny Wilhite, the diving save for the Riders. John Jenkins fired, then rehired 2 weeks ago when the Hamilton offense was going nowhere after the loss to Winnipeg. Calling the shots here.
Cody open just for a moment. When he makes the break, comes back, and he goes back toward the flag, but Wilhite, what an incredible effort, that closing speed to break on that ball and get the left hand out and knock it down.
Second down, 10 to go on the Ottawa 13. Cavillo in the shotgun, trying to make himself hurt, has to use his leg stomp to get the snap. He's knocked down by Knight, but the reception is made by Ted Long. I can't believe that Cavillo got the pass off after being drilled by Dwayne Knight.
Dwayne Knight came off the backside. Nobody touched him, and he puts the helmet right in the middle of the shoulder blades of Cavillo. The ball squanders out his hands and just kind of floats like a shot duck out there to the flat. But the guy that comes up to it is Ted Long, makes the catch, and it's 3rd and about 4.
Have a look at it, Kep. There's
Take a look at the shot right there.
Even before he threw it.
They came with blitzes from both sides. And take a good look. Heads up play by Long. Here it is, right in the middle of the back. Boom! Takes a shot on him.
Cavillo out now. The field goal attempt as Kerrigan pins the ball at the 14-yard line for Osbaldiston. Line drive is good. And so Osbaldiston now good on 6 of 7 field goal attempts. It's now 21-18 with 4:45 to play. Best of Ottawa, where the Rough Riders lead the Tiger Cats 21-18, and so much talk about saving this franchise. How about David Archer fitting into the community, going down to Laurentian High School this week after the football program of 39 years was canceled because the principal said there weren't enough players. 200 kids cut class in a protest. Archer went down and made his own plea to the principal to try to save that program.
And Mark gets to finish up his thought too that he was the only guy that wasn't suspended. All the guys that went on strike, they ended up getting suspended from class, but it does show you what's happening here. Along with guys like Ellington and Archer and other guys getting out into this community to show, hey, we care about football.
Well, let me ask you this, is that a symptom of what's been happening in Ottawa? 17 years of losing, kids maybe not playing enough football at the high school level. They only had 18 out to practice every night at Laurentian. Players like Barry R. Dern, former great Rough Rider, came from that program. Maybe if this Ottawa team starts winning, there's more excitement about football, the high school programs might flourish. Here's Archer. The give to Troy Mills, looking for some room. Sidesteps a couple of tackles, gets maybe 4 or 5 yards on that first down carry.
Toughest part of the game is going to happen right now. Big offensive line and defensive line. They know that Ottawa is going to run the ball, and it is just man against man. Who wants it more? Who gets the job done out there? And right now, Ottawa has the advantage by 3.
Justin Ring and Gonzalo Floyd plotting the Hamilton defense. It's 2nd and a little bit more than 5.
This Hamilton defense has kept them in the game all day.
Bolduc can't hang on to it, and it's picked off. Hitchcock. Tic-tac-toe, and Hitchcock has the ball for Hamilton. The ball went out of Bolduc's hands into Montford's hands, and then finally clutched by Hitchcock.
The key to winning football games and the key to championship is when you have an opportunity to make a play, you've got to make it. Bolduc has a chance to make a big play here. Look at the pass. It's thrown right at him, hits him right in the chest. Yeah! Mumford gets his hands on it, and then Hitchcock, making a good effort to get up toward the ball and get in the play, comes up with the unlikely interception and gets Cavillo 1st and 10 on about the 51-yard line.
Ticats trailing by only a field goal. Cavillo, shotgun formation. Lots of protection. Wide side. Ted Long's got it. Cuts inside. What a wallop! Lamar McGriggs drilled him. Stopped him cold, about 3 yards short of the first down.
To Ted Long's credit, he jumped up. But you look at this long throw to the out. Now he's going to take it right into where all the pursuit's coming from. Woo! And McGriggs said, don't bring that weak stuff here, baby.
2nd and 3. Cavillo, backside. It's Phillips. First down territory, and he's forced out of bounds by Leonard Humphreys. The Cats are marching the football with 2:46 to go, and they trail by only a field goal. We're back after this. Take a look at that Ticat bench. Campbell knows he's been in a ball game. He's got the ice on a knee. Cummins was just taking a knee on the field for Ottawa.
Mark, forget about his ball game. These guys have been in a game fight for almost 60 minutes out there.
2:40 to go in the game. Cavillo, lots of protection. Earl Winfield cuts in on the curl pattern and gets to the Ottawa 20-yard line, and another Ticat first down against the wind. Lamar McGriggs stopping Winfield, or he would have been gone.
Don Southern says you've got to feature your good players and your good receivers, and that is one of the best in the business right now, Earl Winfield.
Cavillo now 350 yards through the air. First game in 6 weeks, and he is in fine form. First down. To give up the middle to Mike Saunders. Shuffles his way for 3 yards. The Ticats deep in Ottawa territory. Don Southern's team yet to score an offensive touchdown, and they're threatening. Substitution now, Andrew Grigg coming in for Mac Cody.
Bit of confusion on the sideline, trying to get the right playing people and the right players in the right position before this snap.
And the crowd noise isn't helping Cavillo. 2nd and 7. He can't hear anything, and he calls a timeout. Good call by the young quarterback. Go to the bench, regroup. It's such a crucial point in this game.
Well, there's two things that can happen there. You either call timeout, or you got to turn to the official and say, hey, I can't hear anything. I need an official timeout. But then you take the chance that the time may run out, and the official may not give you that timeout. So therefore, that's a heads-up play by the young quarterback.
Minute 56 to go in the football game. Ticats trailing by 3, 21-18. Cavillo gets his instructions from John Jenkins, the offensive coordinator. There you see Mike Kerrigan, also on the bench, a second head in this football game for Cavillo.
It's important now, the first thing, not so much to get it into the end zone, but we've got to pick up the first down and keep the ball in our hands.
Here comes the crowd, Cavillo.
Pick up the blitz.
Deep into the corner, Whitfield can't get it. The ball seemed to hang up in the wind. Henry on the coverage, and he's down. Winfield is upset. Thinks he was interfered with. But that ball didn't have enough mustard.
It really didn't. It came in there and it started to turn and flutter as it got up into the wind. And it just didn't have enough zip on it to get down there. Winfield made the turn, and here's where he wanted some contact, but Henry did a great job of coming back underneath it. If anything, Winfield became the guy. He went from offense to defensive player to avoid an interception.
Oh, and Henry is in pain. You could see him twist back on his knee when he went down, reaching for the ball. Oh, that's hard to watch. Tommy Henry, the quarterback, with a huge play to stop Winfield. And now he's badly hurt.
Mark, you've got to figure being a corner, being a half at any time. Winfield lines up across from you. It's going to be a long day at the office. You're going to really pay your dues.
Have another look at the way Henry goes down awkwardly on his legs.
He looks, he turns back, he tries to find the ball. Now he falls back on that left knee of his, and the weight transfers over to the inside, and it stretches out on the inside of the knee.
So as the Ottawa trainer, Dave Smith, attends to Henry, John Payne must think about who he will replace him with. The rookie, Sammy Brennan, who backs up at safety, or Frank West, who we saw have some pretty good plays in the first quarter, who backs up on the corner spot behind Humphries.
Well, you want to take right now, you want to take your best coverage guy, whoever it is, and put it out there on the corner. They may make a change and bring West in or Brennan in and play at the halfback, and maybe they'll take either Murrow or Wilhite and move them out to the corner.
Right now, the focus is squarely on the injured rider, Henry, now being helped off by his teammates. And Paul Osbaldiston getting set for a field goal attempt. 23 yards will be the distance for Osbaldiston as Henry gets some good warm wishes from his teammates and is taken off on the truck, and he is badly hurt. West will come into the game for Henry. Osbaldiston stretching out that tender groin. Winfield still hot about the call, having words with Dave Smith, the Ottawa trainer. Paul Osbaldiston with his 8th field goal attempt. He has done all the scoring so far today for Hamilton. 6 field goals in 7 attempts.
A chip shot for Ozzie. Now the main thing that takes place, Ottawa has to play discipline. Not line up offside, not jump offside. They can kick the field goal, but don't give them a 5-yard penalty.
Snap out down, good pin as Balderson is good. And so this football game is all tied up. Ottawa 21, Hamilton 21 with 1:46 to go. It has been close right from the get-go, Kevin.
It really has. Right from the beginning, these are two tough defenses. The offenses have looked a little bit suspect at times. Hamilton hasn't been able to score a touchdown. This time, Ottawa defense has kept them out of the end zone. David Archer's come in with 2 big touchdown passes, created some momentum for Ottawa early, but the Hamilton team has kept this ball club in the game where they're 21 at half. And if I'm going to be a betting man, this defense will come up big in the next series against Ottawa.
Got to wonder how tired the Ottawa defense is. There's Jeff Cummins coming off the field. He's been smoldering. This defense in Ottawa has yet to allow a touchdown now in almost 3 straight games. But the Cats are still in it.
Mike Kerrigan having a little conversation with Cavill, because that's the greatest thing you can see. You've got a guy on the sideline that's got great vision and the perspective of defenses as he does, telling the young quarterback what to anticipate, what to look for, and what's out there. It's an extra set of eyes. It's a great advantage.
Some of the 300 Ticat fans who came to Ottawa on the train, and Ottawa has its hands team in looking for the short kick. But Ozzie will send it deep. Wilhite now chasing it. Gets it at his own 16. Cuts across the field to the 25. Gets a few blocks. 30. Still going. And finally pulled out of bounds by Donovan Wright at about the Ottawa 33-yard line. So decent field position engineered by the shifty Kenny Wilhite. A return of 15 yards on a 58-yard kick. That was into the wind.
Ball into the hands of the veteran here, David Archer. All the numbers, all the touchdowns, everything he's done prior means nothing now for this guy to come in with that calm, cool composure to run this offense, make some first downs, at least get Lamley in a field goal position, or even good enough to come up with a big strike to the end zone.
We saw him do it last week against Regina, 2 TDs in the final minutes. Archer this time right through the arms of Rogers, and that was dangerous. Nearly picked off.
Another time, these guys out there, they're waiting and they're letting the ball come to their chest, and it's banging off of them. They've got those nice soft hands. Go out there and catch it with your hands. That's why you're a receiver. He had plenty of room to run. David maybe just threw that ball a little too hard on him. He was anticipating a softer pass coming in, but you got to catch the ball with your hands.
Greg Eaglin nearly had that freebie as it careened off the hands of Rogers. So it's second down, 10. John Payne and the Ottawa Rough Riders. Archer in the shotgun. Good protection down the middle. Rogers is open, but it's nearly picked by Montfort.
Great defensive play by the middle linebacker.
Joe Montfort on Joe Rogers. And Ottawa is forced to punt with 1:32 to go in the football game.
Take a look. Montfort's going to come. David Archer telegraphs where he's going to throw the ball. It allows the linebacker just to float right across. Big extension by the left hand and knocks the ball down.
Rogers feeling badly about that drop. Lamley will have to punt from about his own 20-yard line. The Riders using up only about 20 seconds on that drive. So still lots of time for the Cats. 1:32. Earl Winfield standing deep at his own 26-yard line. And Andrew Gregg over on the 30 outside the right hash.
And you want the veteran Winfield to try to get his hands on it. Knows he's got to pick up some big ground.
Good towering punt from Lamley, forcing Winfield back to his 16. He drops the ball. Winfield recovers around the right side and is finally knocked out of bounds at about the 22-23-yard line. And a close call as Sammy Brennan makes the tackle for the Riders on the 9-yard return by Winfield, punt though by Lamley, 60 yards, huge field position.
Big time punt at a crucial situation by Lamley. Does a good job, and Winfield just does not field it properly. Has a hard time getting to the wall, but as Coach Payne said, his coverage teams have been exceptional through the course of this season, and right there, they stood on their head and stopped one of the best in the business.
Ottawa 21, Hamilton 21, a minute 19 to go. First and 10 Hamilton at their own 25-yard line. Younger looking into Cavillo. He pumps once, looking to the wide side. Phillips is open. He's got it. Joe Merrow and Leonard Humphreys tackle him out of bounds at the 47-yard line. Big gain for Hamilton.
Phillips does a good job of running the corner route. Good protection again up front, and the ball is just thrown there with some touch. Jason Phillips does a good job. Works in, tries to pick up a few extra yards, then gets out of bounds to stop the clock.
22-yard gain for Phillips. 1:03 and the clock is ticking. Cavillo pressured, tries to escape, and he's caught. Younger and Birch putting the grasp on Cavillo.
Same blitz that hit him in the back before was Dwayne Knight coming from the right of your screen, right at the bottom. Comes Scott Free. Now he forces Cavillo. He sees him just out of the corner of his eyes, forces him up to the pocket, and that's where Younger comes up with the tackle.
2nd and 8. 8 big yards to go for a first down. 43 seconds and ticking on the clock in this game. Cavillo down the middle, and Younger knocks it down. Jermaine Younger, who took over that spot 2 weeks ago from Ray Bernard, and that is a timely defensive play.
This guy has been all over the field, instrumental in how excited and emotional this defense has been playing for the Ottawa Rough Riders. Does a good job. Now watch Cavillo. Watch the linebacker's eyes right across from you. You're looking at him, he's looking at you. You're going to tell me where to throw? All I've got to do is get my hand up there and knock it down. Younger does an excellent job.
So the middle linebackers, first it was Montfort, now it's Younger, weighing heavily into this football game. The final minutes, 38 seconds to go. Osbaldiston hunting into the wind. His last one was only 32 yards. Field position is crucial. The Riders will have the win. Now Ozzie calling the Ticats special teams back into a huddle.
He wants everybody to be exactly sure what's happening, where I'm going to kick it, how far I'm going to try to kick this ball, and get down there and just be inspirational. Get down there and make the coverage, make the tackle.
Bill Height and Gordon standing back inside their 25 to receive this Osbaldiston punt with 38 seconds to go in the game, and it's all tied at 21. Ozzie gets a low line drive off, held up by the wind. It's picked up by Duke Ellingson as it took a weird hop away from Robert Gordon.
Great heads-up play by Duke, the veteran. Has the ball come back to him, picks it up quickly, catches, I think it was Griggs, 89 in the no-yard zone.
25-yard punt, and that ate up 10 seconds off the clock. So 28 to go in this tied ball game with overtime looming.
Hamilton, number 33, decline. First on Ottawa.
Take that back, that's number 33, that's Daryl Sampson.
David Archer marches into the huddle. The ball spotted at the Ottawa 43-yard line. First and 10, Rough Riders, 28 seconds to play.
Lamley has kicked the 53-yarder this year. David Archer doesn't have to pick up very much yardage to get him in field goal range.
Time for maybe 3 plays, maybe 4. Archer, pressure, dumps it off. It's picked off! Gonzalo Floyd, the defensive end, picks off the dump pass, and Archer can't believe it.
David Archer was pressured by Jesse Small, number 97, and kind of forced that throw in there. Big play by the Hamilton defense. Again, the third, maybe fourth of this game that have kept them in the ball game.
The ball is on the 41-yard line.
Take a look. Small comes on the right. The ball is thrown, but it's thrown right into the hand of Gonzalo Floyd.
Troy Mills wasn't deep enough behind the coverage, and Archer didn't put enough height on the ball to get it over top of the defensive end.
That's twice he hasn't got enough height. This last time, Donovan Wright picked it off.
21 seconds to go. Cavill down the middle. It's complete. Matt Cody has the ball at the Ottawa 28-yard line. Well within field goal range now.
This offensive line doing a great job. Great protection up front, and Cody just goes down there. Ottawa playing a soft zone. He sets down in the middle to the outside of the linebacker, 38 McGriggs. And Cavill makes no mistake about that strike.
10 seconds on the clock. Saunders takes it up the middle and is stuffed up by Knight with 4 seconds to go in the game, and Osbaldiston is coming in. What a turnover. 5 turnovers for Ottawa this year. This game against 1 for Hamilton. And Ozzie now looking for a club record 7 field goals. This will be 33 yards. The wind stiff, straight at him.
Ottawa's making a couple of substitutions. They're taking a couple of linebackers and defensive backs out. In case it's missed, the punter Lamley and Lee Knight are back there. If it's missed, they want to kick it back out.
Here comes Younger. The ball is down, kicked. It's good. The Ticats win. All on the foot of Paul Osbaldiston. A club record 7 field goals today. And the Cats win 24-21. And how do you feel if you're John Payne?
Better yet, how do you feel if you're that guy right there? If you look up ugly wins in the dictionary, you'll have a picture of this ball game standing right beside it, because that was an ugly win for the Hamilton Ticats, but they'll certainly take it.
And a crucial win when it comes to playoff implications. The Cats now 6 points ahead of Ottawa in that third-place battle. Huge win. The Ottawa defense, 3 games now, not allowing a touchdown, but they can't get the win today with Osbaldiston booming 7 field goals in 8 attempts.
Well, you just can't say enough about that guy right there as far as his effort in kicking and scoring the points today. But the big thing that helped the Hamilton Ticats out today was the tremendous effort by their defense.
8 field goals for the Oz, and he's with Scott Oak.
All right, here is Paul Osbaldiston, the hero of this game in every way. Booted all of Hamilton's points, a club record, and tied a CFL record with 8 field goals. I don't know what else to ask you except how do you feel?
Oh, I feel great. That was a huge win. I mean, it's a tough place to come up and play. We've had problems over the year, and I feel great about doing my part to help out. We played a real well game, especially the defense.
Have you ever had a game where you booted all the team's points?
Yeah, but that was in I think a 63-4 loss in Winnipeg, so this means a little bit.
I'm talking about a victory.
No, never. You know, it wouldn't have even been a game if we could have put a couple in the end zone, and you know, we're trying to fight off a lot of things and get better, and you know, that continues.
Paul, what about this shirt? You wanted to talk about it?
Oh, just friends of mine own a clothing company. It's plain and simple.
Oh, never mind. I thought it was a stay-in-school thing or something. Now it's a plug for something.
Well, you got to add stupid in my case, too, but...
All right, Paul, a huge win today. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Paul Osbaldiston boots the Hamilton Tiger Cats all the way to victory over the Ottawa Rough Riders here at Frank Clair Stadium. We'll return.